Hi. Yes, I had come to your page looking about the heated handle grips. I'm buying a new Heritage, and I had one of these. However, when I go over there, you guys want like $36 to get a video. So I guess I'll just look on YouTube until I find somebody that gives a tutorial and doesn't charge for sight unseen. But that's the way it is. Thank you. Bye.
Dude, I
Yes.
actually think that shit is funny. And I'm demented.
And it's real.
hell
It's
was that?
This is where our society
Yes.
is going. I'm not going to get on a whole spiel. I know you guys have your, let me just tell you, that is the exact kind of society that is going downhill. And this is the sad thing. We're getting big on YouTube. We got like 7-8 million views now. We're like 50,000 subscribers, something close to that. Certain people have come to expect that YouTube is kind of like a cell phone, that a smartphone is a God-given right. Like it's in the Constitution. Like you should get it on YouTube, and by God, those people should be working their ass off and spending time away from their families. And I don't give a shit. And I'm going to find it on YouTube. Number one, she won't find that.
No.
You can search for days. You'll find all kinds of bits and pieces that'll just get you fairly confused. Our handlebar video install, or heated grips is what she's talking about, one of our most popular videos. There's bits and pieces all over online. And you all know 95% of our content is for free. I would love to keep it that way. That's why we love Patron so much. But that right there, I was going to reply because it's a voice message where it's SpeakPipe.
Yeah.
But I actually replied, but I looked at the email and it was forget it or something at nevermind.com or some shit like that. And I actually laughed. I go, that's creative shit. But here's the biggest part. And then we'll do a quick roundtable and then we'll get into the podcast. But these things are fun to talk about. Here's the biggest part. This lady is so cheap. And she obviously doesn't know us because she'd realize all our patrons are like, dude, I'll pay for that. It's like, that's nothing. These guys, she took the time out of her day to craft a message to send to me or us about that. So what say
the
you?
background music was.
Oh yeah. And she's drinking while she's doing it because she got the liquid courage to send us an email about it's $34.95, by the way, not 36, but that's just one of our very few for sale videos.
But after taxes, it's like $36. I'll call and tell you guys because I don't have anything wrong to say about that. Okay? That's crazy, guys.
Oh, that's funny shit, dude. Oh.
I hate retail. That is your typical retail. There's actually a podcast out there, or there used to be one called The Retail Rant, and a guy's just on there. He worked retail his whole life, just bitching and like just ranting about retail customers. It's hilarious. And that's like a perfect example of that. And did you guys hear the hip hop music in the background?
Yes, it was awesome.
Randy was getting down.
She was drinking Old E and she was rocking out and she thought, damn those lab guys.
And they just found us through regular Google search and she doesn't know anything about us,
Yeah.
And she just sees a video for $34.95. Go ahead, pay the dealership $400. That's fine by me. The thing is, we've had messages. We get very few. I wish we got more because they're actually fun, but we get very few of stuff like that. But the thing is, that very lady will be back to buy the video. Yeah. She will. Yeah. She will. Because you know what she's going to do? Is she's going to drink all night and she's going to go to YouTube and realize I've got 50 videos in front of me and they all show me enough to get me really confused. And I just got to.
She's gonna drink all night and try it herself. What are you talking about? She's gonna go in the garage and go, "What the hell did I just do? I don't even remember buying the Heritage. I was thinking about buying it. What the hell's it doing in the garage?"
I didn't know you could buy a Heritage on an EBT card. I didn't know you could buy a Heritage on an EBT card. Just straight up, man.
You have no idea how that actually rolls into when you get to the main subject later. Like you know me, I get on the edge of my seat about that. It's like that exact mentality. That exact mentality is gonna it was the only thing I came to the table with tonight. I'll be honest with you, so I can't wait. So.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Matt Pass fired up right now, dude.
That was great.
He sometimes goes off a little bit. Matt does. He gets excited. I like to hear that.
He's passionate. Let's get this party started, huh? Oh God, that's loud.
Whoa.
Sorry about that.
That was another voicemail.
What's that?
Angry cuss.
Yeah, let's get another voicemail. And honestly, we get very few of those, but yeah. Hey, Bikeaholics and listeners alike, the show is still going strong because of a lot of hard work and your support, of course. Thanks to all those loyal listeners and true friends of the show that have supported us or are supporting us. For less than a coffee a month, you can help support us too and put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank to make sure this show keeps moving on down the road. So, calling all law-abiding bikers, head over to our Patreon page and take action today. You can do so at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Oh, did I mention there's benefits too? From all your friends at lawabidingbiker.com, we appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and ride safe. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special that you can't find anywhere else. Yep, and these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use a Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. That's lawabidingbiker.com/store. Hey, Bikeaholics, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. These guys ride. That's right. They support riders just like you. Head over there, lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products ready to hook you guys up. Oh, yeah. Feel it, Squid.
Yeah.
Bang your head.
All in it.
Welcome back, you freaking Bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM. That's right, also known as the
99%.
I heard the live audience patron-only episode. Our first patron-only live YouTube episode.
Awesome.
That's right.
I love it.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By listening, by watching to this very podcast, you are part of what we call the Biker Revolution. That's right.
I forgot the script.
You just...
Damn it.
He threw it again.
I know. I don't know. He changes stuff.
That's right, Squid. I do have just one question for the audience. So what are you waiting for? Mount up, Bikeaholics. Let us take you on a wild ass ride.
I forgot the curse word.
If you
That was
don't,
my only job.
if you just said wild, let them take you on another wild ride. If you don't, you got to throw in the wild ass ride. Okay, it Squid, it sends it home.
I suck. This doesn't get any better than this.
By the way, this is Squid's Matt. We got Matt Pass via Skype. That's right. And this is Squid's second episode back to back. Here we go. Squid in the house. There's a reason he's called Squid. And if you listen to the song and put two and two together.
Remember the world's greatest Navy, United States Navy.
There you go. That's Squid. And of course, we got Matt Pass on via Skype. So you guys won't see him, but you will hear him. And then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Oscar in the house. And it is his second episode back to back. So I'm excited, and thank you, all of you that are already still watching live. So here's what we're doing. I'm trying to give more benefits, and we had to work through some bugs, and I think we got a lot figured out thanks to the audience. If you're listening in podcast format later, that's cool. But I just want to tell you what we're doing, and that is this is our first. I'm trying to give more exclusive access to patron members. We want you in the private Facebook group. We want to get to know you. We want to have a tighter knit community. We love our general audience. That's cool. But really where we get to know people and connect is within our private Facebook group, our patron members. And so we did a YouTube live publicly for everybody, and we batch processed. So our second episode here, we went over to Patron, and it is patron members only. So they're getting exclusive access because they pay as patrons per piece of content that we put out, and we want to provide more benefits. We're growing. I'm learning new things. I'm tweaking things. And so this is really cool because the only people we have in here right now are those paying patrons lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon if you want to get hooked up. And so if you guys like this, make sure you put it in those live chat comments and let me know if you're liking this live patron only event, and that if it's something, I do take your feedback if you think it's something that we should continue to give you guys some exclusive access. Of course, everybody will get this eventually, but it'll probably be next year by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
And because we batch process. But yeah, let me know in your comments if you guys like this and if it's something we should continue. I know we had a little hiccups, but nonetheless, the audience, by you guys sharing with me, I think it'll be a smoother deal next time for you guys all to figure out where we're chatting and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Matt Pass from California, right there. I see him on Skype. So thanks for being here, buddy, and taking the time. Oh,
of course. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a while since we did this, and you guys have just been blowing up. You guys are it's actually funny. When I bought we did that episode when I had bought the Ultra Limited back, and the guys at the Harley dealership knew who you guys were, but it's definitely taken off, and it's been fun to watch you guys grow, and I appreciate and I'm humbled every time you bring me on here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have more of you. And who knows what the future will bring. Matt Pass has got some skills, so who knows? he will just keep him on the hook right here. And I love. Well, we got to do it more often, dude, because I do love having you. I've always said that. It's harder to get everything scheduled, but it just needs to be done because you are definitely an asset. And good on the mic. Very confident. So that. Yeah, it's awesome. So speaking of patrons, let's thank these patrons right here. Do you want to thank these guys, Squid? You want to give it a shot? You want to thank all these patrons? Oh,
you got Larry Daniels of Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Let me get that back up for you. There you go.
And Ryan Riley of Cedarhurst, New York. And Jerry Lombard of who knows where.
Gary Long. Michael Williams of Rockwell, Texas, and then Derek Davis of Waterloo, Iowa. That's right. They are sponsors, patrons. I don't know if any of them are in here right now in this patron-only event, but nonetheless, thank you. That's right. Pledge that certain. I don't need to tell you guys, but pledge that certain amount per piece of content. There are benefits like this patron-only event. There's T-shirts, stickers, exclusive access to videos, and of course, like we've always said, that private Facebook group. Today's main topic, besides, I hope you guys like that lighthearted voicemail that we started out with. That's the give me society. Isn't it amazing? I don't want to stall on that, but it's just this, it's funny that people really believe like that
they're owed that
you're owed by YouTube and Google and the creator.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't
master
realize
creator owes me.
I don't think some of these people, they're probably just a little bit ignorant. I don't think they really realize that like we don't really get paid for that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And the hours,
like we make some
blood,
AdSense as a joke. Yeah. AdSense, everybody says, I like it. Some people ask me, and it's cool because they don't know. They're like, and I get asked, you guys make a lot of money right on commercials and AdSense. I'm like, dude, AdSense is a fucking joke. Unless you get like 8 million views on each video, you aren't. Yeah, it's like pissing in a fire.
That's the goal. That's the goal,
right? Yeah.
Unless.
Yeah, people just have this misconception like, oh, he's a YouTuber, he makes lots of money. Oh my God. Why do you think we have a store and we have patrons? Why do you think if you look at all YouTubers, normal mainstream YouTubers that don't have 8 million views a video, your normal average everyday YouTuber, you have to monetize, and YouTube, you ain't going to monetize on running ads on your videos. But I think a lot of people misconceive
that just gets you
just because you make videos. Right. It's great. We make a little extra money to pay the bills off some ads on YouTube, but that's like 0.5% of the pie of where, how Lab funds itself. You know what I mean? That's just a joke. So,
but there's a lot of there's random dudes doing free stuff on YouTube.
No, it is, but I think people think they're getting paid. They are.
Oh.
Yeah, like 1 penny per 1,000 clicks or something like that. Like it's a joke. Like it's a complete, AdSense is a complete joke.
That's if they've even gone as far as putting the ads up.
Correct.
And I think that you're absolutely right. People actually think that if you're up there and you've got if you've got anything more than 100 views, they're probably thinking, oh, you're probably getting paid for that. Like, in what world do you live in? What information are you getting that none of us out there in the real world are? It drives me. Don't get me started. It's kind of like you feel like things you hate, Ryan. Because this is like a thing I hate. This is crazy. Oh my God.
Matt Pass
already rolling.
So you go to McDonald's, you get a French fry. If there's a hair in your French fry or they're cold, it doesn't. you might get a new French fry. It doesn't mean that you get 2 new French fries, a discount on your next meal, and you earn a free chain at McDonald's. I'm turning off my mic.
Yeah, I love it, dude. No, leave your mic.
So ridiculous,
dude.
My God.
Yeah, and I had something to say about that. Yeah, but yeah, they think you're making that money, and I'm like, I'm thinking, do you still think if we were making that much money that I'd still be a full-time Leo? Do you think?
Right.
I mean,
I love it that much.
The day, you guys will know when I've made it when I quit my Leo job someday. But that's a ways away because
you like guys with hepatitis spitting on you, right?
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I continue to go to my job and like people yelling and cussing at me and spitting at me. It's great. I do it because I'm making millions on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. See, I can get on those rants, but it's good because.
Sorry.
No, it's good. So here we go. The main topic today, guys, is we're going to talk all about, and I think the discussion will be good in the patron event here.
Before you go,
yeah, go ahead.
Jason Richardson says this super chat button's not working. He said it's grayed out.
Very interesting. Oh, I think it's because it's private. It's an unlisted event. Thank you. That's so. Those little tidbits of information. Jason, thank you for just telling us because you don't know what I need to know. I need to know that. So I know now if we're doing a patron only unlisted video that only you guys with the link can see, then there's no super chat available. That's fabulous information from your end. So I will make a note of that. Thank you very much. We're learning as we go here. So, all right. So main topic today, and I think there'll be a lot of great discussion. I know Matt has a lot to say. I know Squid does. We've researched this. It is all about Harley-Davidson. Are they facing problems? Now, this was Matt. Do you want to? You know what I'm talking about? You put this in the private Facebook group. Why don't you tell us how this came about? You found a video and stuff, and let's talk about that.
I think originally, I might be wrong, unless it was just because someone reshared it. But I thought that it was posted by multiple YouTube people because I had seen it before, and I don't. And the one that's on there now, or the one that I posted, may have been the main guy. You know what I'm talking about when someone uploads the same footage or whatever, over and over again, or different people do, anyways.
Hey, can you stop for just a second? I didn't tell you this. If it's too much trouble, don't worry about it. I'm okay with it. But I should have told you. I've been so busy doing this. For some reason, your computer, you're coming over your regular computer speakers. You're definitely not.
Am I not on the mic?
You're not on that nice quality mic. If you want to take,
let me see.
That's fine. 30 seconds to try to fix it. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go into if you're on PC.
Yeah, the preferences here.
Yeah, your preferences.
It says USB microphone.
Pick that mic up and talk right into it. Let me see.
Is that better?
This is technical stuff. I don't understand.
Way over my head.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh.
Like
and you're okay the other way. It just sounded, it's not bad, Matt. It just sounded echoey. So it sounded like maybe you weren't on that mic, but I'm okay either way. So you're on it. You're good. My bad.
No, that's fine. I can use it like this.
That is nice.
Matter. My ADD kicks in and my head goes in 5 different directions,
Oh, that is much higher quality there. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Well, no, I had a couple people had shared it already before I had watched it. And we had talked about it a little bit, me and my buddies and stuff, and they're like, Matt, this is kind of like what you were talking about, as we were sitting around the campfire or whatever and BS about some of these things with Harley and everything else. So I decided to just post it on the patron page and say thoughts, and it did what I thought it was. It sparked a lot, actually, more good information than I think anybody who's a Harley fan or a motorcycle fan, bikeaholic in general, I think has something to say about it. So I thought that it might be a good topic, to do a show about.
Right. Yeah. And it was. And so if you're in the private patron only Facebook group, you'll know what we're talking about. I'll post it in the show notes. It's a video. Here's the deal. Let me set this up. So we've talked about this. And
I didn't explain what it was.
No.
I didn't explain what the video was about.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Explain.
No. Oh, so the video is basically about the problems Harley-Davidson is facing moving forward. Are they capturing a new audience? Basically, their base is getting too old. It's all the potential problems that Harley-Davidson is facing. So it's something that me and my buddies have talked about for a while. I'm a business development guy. I'm in sales. I like analytics to a certain extent. I enjoy looking at innovations and the way business developed over time in general, over the course of generations. And Harley has always done such a good job with that in general. However, the new generation and since technology in these late 2000 years, or in 2008-ish and above, since technology has been taken over, the generations have been changing. We've all seen that. I mean, even politically speaking, the generation, just like what we're talking about with the whole entitlement attitude, the people out there purchasing products are changing soon. So I'll pause it there, and I'll just the video is basically, this is what Harley does well. This is what the competitors are doing. This is where they might have some issues, and is Harley going to survive in the future? Is that a good recap?
Yeah, nice. And let me add this. I'll put a link to this. I'm looking at the Facebook comments because we may get into some of that. And Oscar, feel free, Squid, anytime to join in on this conversation when you feel like you got something or you got a grasp of it. So here, I'm going to say this. Now and I think Matt agreed. And we talked about this in the last episode. Everybody's biting at Harley-Davidson. They're the big dog. They're the big dog in the industry, just like Apple's the big dog in that industry. They're at some 900 billion, huge company. And everybody's going to go after the big dog. And you've got to try to cut them where you can. And I get that. Everybody talks crap about the big dog. That's fine. I support all motorcycles. I don't really care what you ride. I've said that before. As long as your knees are in the breeze, I'm good with that. Everybody can afford something different. Everybody has different tastes. I will tell you this. So my first thing is always the source. And I think I mentioned this, Matt, in the private Facebook group. I had to first look at the source of this video and what their intent is. And everybody's got a bias in something they're trying to do. And I'll tell you, I researched this channel a little bit. He's called The Company Man. Now, to set this up, but here's the thing. It's great post and a great video to spur conversation, because I think there are some good things to spur conversation. But I also want to say, this guy, we're not even sure rides a motorcycle. Right. I don't know that he's ever owned a Harley in his life. What he does is he takes and researches on the internet certain topics about companies, and then he tries to put together videos that will get him AdSense and lots of views.
And make him millions.
And make him controversial titles.
Because everything
Correct.
on the internet is
true. Correct.
True, right.
Yeah, he's a millionaire because he's got YouTube channel. Yeah. And, they are produced videos, but, this guy, you go to his About page and it's a joke. He doesn't tell nothing about it. We make videos about companies and this. Like, he doesn't show his face. So I have a problem with a guy making videos about a subject matter that he may or may not know anything about. I don't know if he's ever been on a motorcycle. I don't know who the guy is. He doesn't show his face. He doesn't tell crap about himself. He doesn't even say in the video how he's qualified to talk about such a deep subject matter. Not that we're qualified, but at least we're qualified because we're all in the industry and we ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Right, consumers.
We're
at least
consumers.
enthusiasts. Yeah.
We have a clue. We have a clue.
Yeah,
Right.
but maybe there's some value in a neutral outsider's point of view. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
there
have to be great. He is being controversial on purpose, but he doesn't have any attachment like we do. So I don't know. Maybe he's seen something we're not. It's hard to say.
We don't know if he has an attachment.
Well, right.
He did his job because we're talking about it.
Amen. Look at you. Dang.
He has no.
We need the clapping.
Hang on.
Clapping.
Matt's talking. When he talks,
Well,
you
no,
got
I mean, without being an actual motorcycle fan in general, he's not an enthusiast. He has no passion, right? So it's just like when somebody starts at a company, right, or a company acquires another company, and they come in, they're like, well, according to analytics, this, that, and the other. It's like, you don't know our customer base, you don't know jack shit,
right?
Like, these are loyal fan base people. They like it because of X, Y, and Z. So they're gonna buy it even if it's shit, and this is why. Not that Harley is shit. I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying. It's when you can't just sometimes just go back, do a 20,000 foot view and go, well, based on, averages and how things usually pan out in this situation. Well, you can take that theoretical crap and shove it up your butt and move on.
Right.
So,
yeah, I love it.
Very eloquent, Matt. That's
Very
what
eloquent.
I'm talking about.
I love his passion, dude. That's what I love. Yeah. So, and I don't know that, you say this guy may be unbiased. We don't know. He could be a Honda owner. And so he owns a Honda, so he's biased against Harley. That's the problem, is he doesn't say, I wish people would start their videos a little bit like, how are you qualified in any way, bro, to talk about? So anyways, I don't want to dwell on that, but that's just me. I really like to research when stuff comes out like this, because he labeled it. I know what he's doing. He did some search engine optimization. The way he's presenting it is clearly just to get views and clicks. And that's cool. It was well put together, and it does bring up like Squid said it's got us talking about it. So that's cool. So I just want to give you guys a background. I'm going to put the video, I'll link it so he can become a multimillionaire with some more views. In the I've got to keep going back to that, dude. That's the gift that keeps on giving. So why don't you I sent you guys the show notes. Squid, do you want to take it from here, Oscar, a little bit and give a little bit about the history and all that?
Squid?
So, history Harley.
Attaboy.
Yeah, let's do a history of Harley a little bit for the audience.
A little music.
Yeah, taking it back. We need the dream sequence.
So the original owners, William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson, if you saw that movie, made their first Harley available to the public in 1903. By 1918, almost half of sales were to the military and used in World War I. 1930s, Great Depression knocked out all U.S. motorcycle producers. Then came World War II, and Harley stopped almost all commercial production of bikes and focused on the war effort. In 1945, the war ended, and they refocused on making civilian bikes. And that continued to this production through today.
Well done.
Nice. So that's just a little, you guys probably all out there have, understand we could go a lot deeper into Harley's history and stuff like that. So let's just start here. Thank you, Squid, for that. So he talks about a lot of things, and we're just kind of going to go through the video. The way I have the notes lined up is some of the points that he makes, and then we can kind of go around and kind of a round table, and we're going to have a lot of opinions on this, I know. Yeah. And that's good because we started our opinions, Matt, on the last one. Our last episode that we did for everybody, not just Patron, was Royal Enfield is it going to take over Harley? And that'll be a
Royal Enfield.
Yeah, you'll be
motorcycle manufacturer in Egypt. Royal Enfield.
Correct. They are huge.
India.
In India.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we kind of spurred on that. There's actually some very interesting information and statistics, but yeah. So we kind of started greasing the skids with that episode, so to speak, on this particular subject, and we were oftentimes almost going down that rabbit hole.
We were going down there.
We had to get pulled out. We went in a little bit.
Yeah. I had to pull both Squid and Oscar. They were in the rabbit hole together. I don't know what they were doing
like this is bullshit.
In the rabbit hole together, but they were both in the fetal position together, and they had baby oil. I don't.
Oh my God. Okay, you're right.
Wow.
Now
you took that
to a little person.
A whole new level.
A whole new level. Yes, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Oh wow.
When I first got on, we were talking about nipples, and now we're about we're oiling things up and and getting a fetal position. So
right,
baby nipples. Oil.
Hey, what do you guys think? Here's the deal. Tell me what you guys think as co-hosts. Should I just play snippets of the video and then pause it, or should we just go through the notes? What do you think, and then talk? What's the best way to go about this?
I don't know. Does some snippet have some extra value than just the content itself?
No, I'm just saying.
A 9-minute video, isn't it?
Yeah, I could play a few things and then, but we could just go through the notes.
Yeah, include the link in the final product, and we'll just go through the notes.
I think we should chat it up.
All right, cool. All right, so
what do patrons think?
Yeah, let's see what your patrons.
My phone's almost dead.
You guys monitor that, Dan Jaffers?
I think a lot of them have watched it. I mean,
probably. Now, yeah, they probably have because it was in the private Facebook group. So now let's talk about this. So even in this video, this guy, when he starts out, he talks about the history and all that. And then even in his video, he says, what's the biggest name in the motorcycle industry? Harley-Davidson. Of course, we talked about this in our episode. Here's the deal. In the United States, the Harley-Davidson, absolutely. In the United States, we talked about Royal Enfield in a prior episode being the biggest. They are selling a lot of bikes, way more than Harley in other parts of the world. But in the U.S., the Street Glide Special, the Street Glide, is still the number one selling Harley-Davidson motorcycle, the number one selling touring motorcycle in the United States for going on 15, 20 years, I believe. It's a very popular motorcycle. Many other motorcycles. We support all motorcycles here. I'm just saying everybody goes after the big dog. And there are a lot of other touring bikes with the Batwing fairing. We all know where the Batwing fairing came from. Okay. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Mimicking a little bit, and doing things a little bit different, but capitalizing on that particular style, that particular look. And he says they don't just want to ride a motorcycle, they want to ride a Harley. So he does make some good statements in there, about that. And we talk about being brand loyal. Totally. Right. That's one thing Harley has going for, which I think we're going to get deeper into there, is how they hold that.
But the thing with Harley is when you say, I own a Harley, people go, you have arrived.
Yeah.
When you say, I own a Harley-Davidson, people look at you and go, God dang, you're rich.
Yeah.
Or you're successful.
Right.
True. You make good decisions. I want to hang out with you.
Maybe. It's a good point.
Yeah, I would say that's still happening. But I would say, and maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but I think it less and less. I think that the generation beneath coming up, they care less and less about that.
What say you in rebuttal, Squid?
I say I'm freaking old and I'm right. No, but I see your point. The 20-somethings, their value systems are different.
It'll still be there.
They believe in the right now.
Right. Yes. Exactly. And exactly. And it's here's a scary thing. If Yamaha, Honda, Royal Enfield, whoever convinces everybody you're going to get the same thing, if not better,
nice.
Now you don't need a Harley. That's a scary thing. And it's only going to take a really smart marketing person or someone to find the niche to where the bike hooks up to Wi-Fi or broadcasts Wi-Fi or does something weird and ridiculous or has some ridiculous warranty program to where it's not expensive to work on that bike or maintain it. That's all it's going to take for them to go, why the hell would I ever buy a Harley? Now, there are still going to be people out there that say, I only want a Harley. That's never going to go away. I'll pause there too because I just like threw gasoline on the fire.
No,
so I think you hit it there. For the millennials, as we'll call them, they want that niche right now, the Apple-ish, it just works thing. They don't wrench on bikes.
Right.
I wrench on my bike. Millennials don't wrench.
Yeah, right, but here's the thing: Harley sees that. The M8 is the epitome of we don't need
the Milwaukee 8.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say this, but we don't need to wrench on Harleys anymore. It's kind of freaking cool. I can go buy an M8 and I can ride away and I can put 1,000,000 miles on it. And then I can go get another one because they have come forward from the 99 twin cam that we had to do gear drive cams and we had to do higher compression, all that crap. And I think in response to younger generations, they're
inept when it comes to the tool.
Well, or they're not. That's not their area of interest. They want things that work and they want things that they can use and they don't want to screw around with it. But think about how many people we know are that way in our own generation and my dad's generation. As the farther we get from the Great Depression and the less things have to last, the more we throw stuff away. We don't have to work on it to make it last. Harley's making a product that's top right now. So I see them looking at the millennials and going, yeah, these guys don't want to do air intakes and they don't want to do exhaust and they don't want to do all this. Let's just make a finished product and put it out there, make it a good product. So I think they are taking that into account a little bit anyway.
I have to. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's a great point, and I think there's another side of that coin as well. And it's you stand that quarter on its side, and you go, "Holy shit, which way is it gonna fall?" Right? And I can tell you this: I work in multifamily, condos, apartment communities, things like new construction developers, and I will tell you, the multifamily industry is growing faster than it ever has before. It's because we are deeply needed 3 to 5 million units per year, meaning there's that many people looking for a unit that isn't being developed each year. And these are all people. These aren't just it's not baby boomers, right? It's people that were homeowners either getting into MDU or multifamily, right? Or it's people that don't want to maintain a house, right? And the new generation coming up, their first place is going to be an apartment. Mm-hmm. And the new thing is right now, the most desired thing is free Wi-Fi, free amenities, free lawn care, free pool, free gym, free TV. And trust me, I'm on the back end, making sales off of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there doing it, but it's amazing it's amazing to me to see what my customers' clientele, meaning their tenants, what they expect to be included or free. What should automatically be there. And when these people leave a community, apartment community, they're not going out buying a 3-4 bedroom house. they're going to buy a condo instead. And that condo community is going to have all the same amenities. The reason I bring this up is because that's the demographic, and maybe it's because I'm involved in it all day long, 7 days a week, but that's the demographic that I see more and more is we want everything included. We don't want to wrench on anything. We don't want to mow a lawn. We don't want to clean a pool. We don't want to paint a wall. We don't even want to change a light bulb. I want to pay one bill, and I want it all included, and I don't want to think about it. And when I'm talking to different people in the motorcycle community, it's like, oh, you bought the Honda, or you bought the Yamaha, or you bought why'd you do that? Oh, well, because of this warranty or because of that. And it's always just basically in the past couple of years that I've seen, it's always they have to do less to get more. I'll pause there again. Sorry, guys.
No, I love it. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good insight.
I agree, but what age are the millennials right now?
The
average millennials
33 and under, 34 and under.
So, I mean, if you really think about it, let's see, we've been in 05. So I didn't buy my first house till I was 31. And when I was in my 20s, into my 30s, I didn't want a yard. So I think there's some age effect there. There's also, there's some urban versus rural effect there as well, because like my kids, they see me owning a house. And so that's what they know. They don't know apartments, and they see me working on bikes, and that's what they're going to know. Growing up, they're going to see my Harleys and my Hondas or whatever. So, yeah, the millennials get a bad rap, but some of it is just the product of modernization as it continues to move forward, because there is free Wi-Fi everywhere.
I'll say I grew up, in the city, and my Navy years, we go from every 3 years we're moving. So we are either in high density apartment complexes, condos, or government housing. And those kids, you're right, they do understand. There's no rural. It's all right now. What can I get?
Mm-hmm.
So,
here, I want to say this, Oscar, because I've been holding this. You made a point. You said they don't want to wrench. Now, I only want to pull back on that little tidbit a little bit. It's different kind of wrenching. I believe even the Milwaukee 8, because we make videos for it and people are knocking down our door for more videos on the Milwaukee 8. It's wrenching in a different way. The old Hardys, you were wrenching on them because they were breaking down and leaking oil. And it's kind of based off what law-abiding biker media does. It's kind of the newer age. Yeah, we get requests for older stuff, but that's kind of going away. There's still people that are highly interested in that. We have them in the private Facebook group.
Yeah.
They're working on old projects, but we don't make a lot of those videos because those videos are very, very niche.
Right.
There's just not a lot of people putting together, an old shovel head, and that's cool stuff, but you would get like 5 viewers. I mean, there's just not,
Right.
We're trying to do what mainstream bikers are doing. I still think there's I argue with you a little bit on that I think people are, based on law-abiding biker media, that people still want to wrench. It's just in a different way. When we talk about wrenching, they want to put the exhaust. They want to remove packing. They want to put a stage 1. They want to do an EFI tuner. They want to dress their bike up. They want to put Zero 3D LED lights.
No, but listen.
They don't really want to necessarily rebuild the engine, but you
know what
ahead.
that is?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is the magic of Harley's marketing. They want to make their Harley theirs. And they want to be one with their bike. That's why we do our own maintenance. I make enough money I could pay Harley to do my maintenance. I don't want Harley to do my maintenance because it's my bike. I want to know all about my bike, and I want to be responsible for as much as I can about it.
You want to sit back into the day and go, I did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think too, just based on what we do here, even like an oil change.
Yeah.
People, whether you have the money to buy it, I think they're based on the amount of feedback we get on those type of videos. I would suggest that people want to save money. And even though the economy is good right now, overall it's doing very well. I still think, a $300-400 oil change, the average Harley owner is already making big payments on a Harley. If he can save $400 on an oil change, that's a big deal. That's a big deal to my budget.
Yes.
That's a huge deal.
So instead of the frickin' 750 in the Royal Enfields, how about Harley, to meet the market, stops doing that? $400 services. How about? But
Agreed.
I mean, really, if Harley,
I agree.
If Harley really wants to sell bikes One of the things they're running up against is that people don't want to pay huge prices.
You mean they don't want to do the HD thing?
They don't want to do the HD thing.
That's what it is. That's what's considered the HD thing. And I think that, like I said, it's a coin you put on its side. And my idea has always been that what I would think would be good is the closest thing to a leasing program that I think that what people consider to be part of a leasing program is I think I'm going to give a little bit of example because I feel like I need to explain it a little bit. Everyone's gone to Best Buy and bought either a phone, a tablet, or a TV, right? Their sales guy walks up and goes, "Hey, no pressure. I'm not on commission. Pick whatever you want and take it to the front for you." And they give you all the features on, let's just say this TV, right? And it's a great TV. Then you take it to the front, right? And they say, "Great, okay. Now this comes with a 5-year warranty or a 10-year warranty, or it's guaranteed to this. Do you want that? We can remove it. It'll save you $50 or $70, or do you want to keep it on there?" You go, "Oh crap, I was already expecting to pay $8.99 for it. I'll keep it on there, sure." Right? So what I'm getting at basically is, to your point of let's get rid of the $400 services, is for the first 5 years, this is what you can expect: free service from Harley, already included in the price. Even if that means the bike is a little more, I don't think people will get over that, because let's face it, people are paying expensive prices for Harleys now. If to reach the new generation, take some of the work out of it, take some of those big costs out of it, and then integrate a little bit technology. And I'll pause there too, because I've had some ideas about the technology too. But what do you guys think of that?
Amen, brother. Amen. You are freaking hired. If I was the CEO of Harley, I would hire you right now. I'd be like, "Matt Pass, here's your luxurious office and 6 bikes," and I get that shit going.
So you're getting more like Matt, to make sure I understand everything you're saying. You're saying they should do, I may have totally missed the point because I was dicking around with some other stuff, but that they should do it more like car manufacturers. Like, yes. I went recently, like 4 weeks ago, and we traded in a car. My wife needed a new car. We got a Honda Pilot, and included in that is a Honda Care service. And they cover pretty much do everything to it for the first couple of years. Is that what you're getting at?
You're not going to play the clapping thing. I'm going to do it.
Sort of something like that, right? Because everyone expects when you buy a brand new Harley-Davidson, right, that you're going to have a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, whatever, right? Like a car. That's whatever is chicken shit. It's to be expected. People don't care about that anymore. No. They don't give a rat's ass about that anymore, because we all know when you go into finance, they're going to try to upsell you on a $4,000 gosh damn freaking thing. I've bought it. I did.
I have.
Okay.
Well, they know you're going to get it. They know you're going to buy it.
But you know why? I'm a younger generation too. It's like, man, that thing breaks down. You're paying for my damn hotel room. Hell yeah. Right. Yeah. You $25,000. You're gonna pay for my hotel room
and my beer and my beer for the night.
That's right. I'll submit my receipts. But what I'm getting at is include that in the price already and surprise me at the end. Say, hey, this already had a 5-year unlimited mile warranty, free oil changes or free care service, just like you were mentioning with Honda, right? If you don't want it, I'll take $4,000 off the bike right now.
Yes.
However, you do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to appeal to some of the new the demographic that's coming up and being consumers. The other one is going to be technology. I don't know if you guys have seen these. I'm a fan of them. Cars have come a long way. There's a chip or a USB in a car. You plug something into it. It's on Bluetooth, and you can see what's wrong with your engine on your phone. Right? So much like these EFI tuners and everything else, if it was already pre-programmed in the motorcycle to where you can monitor everything that's going wrong with your bike on your own phone, what the hell? It's like $30 on Amazon to plug it into your car. How much would that actually cost to already integrate it? Just shit like that is what I'm talking about. It's these are the things that appeal to the new convenient. I want it now. I don't want to work on shit. It needs to be included already. If I'm going to have a $650 a month bike payment, you better damn change my oil.
Yes.
That's kind of yeah.
Good work.
Here, let's follow up on that. And I hear what you're saying totally. It'll be interesting to see if they do. So in the private patron chat, Rick Kremer says, we may not need, quote, to wrench to keep it running, but it's recognized that we want to wrench on them and we want to personalize our bikes. Hence the huge aftermarket product lines, Harley and others. The other manufacturers don't have that after purchase market. Interesting point, Rick. Jason Richardson says younger folks want Harleys but the cost is out of reach unless they go used, and typically private sale since the dealer imposes a heavy Harley tax to purchase with warranty, whatever. Jason Richards says other brands just enable a younger group to buy and to get the full experience. Harley hasn't hit that niche yet, though they're heavily marketing to the audience. Pablo Calcerata, which made our here's Pablo's song. We'll just play it right now. He says, I think he made this for us. He says, I think a lot has to do with the way you were brought up. My dad taught me the love for wrenching starting on cars, and now my brother-in-law and father-in-law show me the love for wrenching on bikes. So there's just some audience comments, and thanks, Pablo, for that song. Interesting chat going on in there. So you guys go ahead.
Well, and traditionally for Harley, I mean, if we think about what Harley's been since, I mean, I've been in them. I didn't even consider, in Squid, we were talking about this earlier. I didn't consider a Harley until I was like, 30-some-5?
You're old.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we're grandpas. Because I couldn't afford it. My first bike was a 84 Honda Magnus 700 that I paid like $1,200 for.
Right.
But it got me into motorcycling, right? It got me into street bikes before it was dirt bikes. So this Harley's like top shelf whiskey. Like you can go and you can drink, or top shelf gin or whatever. You start at the bottom and you work your way up. That's a market they own. And the bikes reflect that. I mean, they make bikes we can ride 1,000 miles a day. No one else makes a bike like that, except for the Goldwing. Goldwing's equivalent, and maybe the Indians come in that way. But the Goldwing's the same price as a Harley. I mean, they're expensive.
The gold standard is the Harley.
For
the touring the American highway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It has been, and it still is. And of course, people are nipping at their heels, which is why we're talking about this. Is why, does Harley? Yeah, Harley needs to pay attention. Any big company needs to pay attention to marketing and what's going on in the industry and how they're going to keep their market share. Now, let me look at private chat here. So, real quick, Kevin does Pat. I don't think the newer generation wants to take the time or spend the extra money to make the bike their own. They would rather buy it already done for them. So interesting comments going on there. And
I agree with that.
And I think
with some of that, yeah.
And I think they're both right. And that's what Harley's producing. Today, you can walk off the lot with a brand new touring bike. And I mean, if I bought a new bike today, I wouldn't do shit to it.
Yes, you would.
I would ride it.
Whatever.
I would ride it. I would ride it all over.
We got guys buying Milwaukee 8s that are buying our,
bling it
you're going to
out.
do your own oil change. You're going to put your own exhaust on it. We have, Grunt has the Milwaukee 8. We've already put pipes on it. We've already done a stage 1. We've already done an EFI tuner. We've already put lights on it. We've done.
It's beautiful.
No,
deep down in
that's
my core.
the Harley thing. Harley's got to keep that going.
But what Matt just said is true. Harley is now riding both sides of the fence. They're making a bike that people who don't necessarily originally first carry about Harley, they're making a really nice motorcycle, and they're still making a bike that we can screw with a little bit. So they're getting both.
Here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing with that. I'm gonna ask all three of you a question. Okay, when someone says I want to buy satellite TV or I want to put a satellite dish up on my house and I want to get TV, what's the number one issue that the competitors are going to say is going to happen if you put up a satellite dish?
Probably bad reception or what?
They don't use those stupid little screws.
That's it. It's bad reception. Oh, whenever a storm comes in or whatever, I can tell you because I'm in the TV industry that there has been 99.9% even more reliable than Comcast or anybody else for many, many years. But that one thing has always just been nipping at the heels of DirecTV and Dish Network and every other satellite internet provider out there is if you put up an antenna, there's going to be bad reception.
Right.
Harley faces the same thing. If you buy a Harley-Davidson, you're going to wrench. If you buy a Harley-Davidson, it's going to be expensive. Now, I agree with you. These have come a long way. You don't got a wrench on them and things like that. But the dilemma is what I'm saying is they need to find a way of marketing to the new demographic that is no longer true. Right, and with for example, with AT&T buying DirecTV and things like that, they've done a great job of kind of getting away and having people not concentrate on the fact that it's a satellite dish, right? Because it is reliable, right? So just like Harley, it's reliable, it's the best of the best. But how are we going to stop people from thinking that it's going to be leaking oil, that you got a wrench on it, and it's going to cost you a fortune to maintain?
I already have the ad in my head. Does that make sense? Yeah. In the 80s, we sucked, but we don't anymore.
I think they played that one already.
I don't know.
I think they rolled AMF across the screen and then blew it up.
Nice. That's a good point, Matt. That is, how do they do that? How do they say we sucked before, we don't suck now? I mean, because Indians in the same boat.
What you do is just like their quartermaster program. When they created a loyal customer base, they taught everybody in the military for free. It cost them money. And it cost them more money to do a quartermaster program. They didn't have to do a quartermaster program. And so a little bit of history lesson. I even think it was in the movie or the made-for-TV movie documentary. A quartermaster program was we're going to teach soldiers how to work on Harley-Davidson in real time. So if they're on the battlefield, they can wrench on their own bikes, fix it, and get the hell out of Dodge. Right now, that they included that in the cost of the bike. Indian had an order. Indian didn't provide it, so Indian probably made more money on their bikes. Harley-Davidson sold the same amount of units for the same amount of roughly the same price, but included extra service. It may have cost them a little bit of money, but they created a loyal customer base. So just very similar to that. If they were simply to say, you don't have to worry about anything going wrong, you don't have to worry about if anything goes wrong at all. It's basically a care service program, kind of like I was saying. That is how you put a positive spin on. Even if you're afraid, we all know Harley is great, but even if you're afraid of Harley, even if you're afraid you're going to buy something that you don't know how to work on, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be this big, burly, tattooed Harley guy to be a Harley owner. You don't have to have a mechanical skilled background to be a Harley owner. You know why? Because all you're going to do is drive it in here after 3,000 miles or 5,000 miles or whatever it is for your service. We're going to replace the bearing. We're going to readjust everything else. We're going to check your tire pressure. We're going to do all this stuff for free.
And you'll get free Wi-Fi while you're in there. I'm
and a free Starbucks.
I think a cup of coffee and
an iPad to use while you're there. No, I like it. I'm feeling you, bro. This is good conversation. I want to do this real quick. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for a new and exciting motorcycle product? 03D has just what you're looking for. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. 03D's got your back with chrome lighting and comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. Squid. Oscar, that equals less time installing, more time riding. They have a design team with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. These guys are bikers and care about bikers just like you. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email, sales@03d.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. 03D is distributed in the U.S. by Drag Specialties, in Europe by Parts Europe and Zodiac, and in Asia by Twin Art. Check your local dealership for Zero Parts. Better yet, help support us right here at Law Abiding Biker. Head over to our store, lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of 03D products. Big Daddy Kane and Grunt, I know for a fact, because we're out of shelf room. We were just talking about that. We're always expanding, and we got to figure out we're overflowing. They got a lot of product down there ready to get to you guys. So, by buying them from our store, you guys are supporting this platform so we can continue to provide content like this. So, Matt, everybody, good points. Interesting. So here's the deal. Let's talk about the marketing and some of the things we're seeing now. We talked about Harley getting into the 750 and 500 street models. They're more of a commuter bike. They're entry level. They're a lot cheaper. And we're all wondering, scratching our heads 3 years ago, why are they doing this? We're kind of figuring out why they're doing this because there's people nipping at their heels. And I know you guys will have some stuff to say on this. Like Royal Enfield, these entry level, and Royal Enfield's trying to make, they're selling like 666,000 bikes, I think was the number we gave,
something insane,
to 200. Of course that's over there. They have a very small market here. So you're talking about, divides and different areas. Obviously here, Harley has the most dealerships, so you can give and take there. But at the end of the day, Harley's dilemma, and this guy alludes to it, whether you agree with it or not, I kind of sort of agree partially, if that makes sense. So what he's basically saying in this video is Harley are all old riders, which I don't agree with because I know our law-abiding biker community and we have an array. I know my demographic. It's definitely not 16-year-olds, but it's, 25 to 65. Largest portion, and we'll look at some of those, are men, clearly. I don't think any of that's a surprise to people, but Harley's thinking, okay, and basically this guy makes it doom and gloom. All the Harley riders are going to die, and then Harley's not going to have anybody to sell to anymore. It's the old guy with a missing tooth. And I kind of hate that he puts that shit in his video because it's very biased.
Yeah, that was dumb.
He puts the old Harley guy with the missing teeth and the long beard. We all get that image, but look at us here. Look at Matt Pass. Look at you. Yeah, I've got tattoos. Okay, that's great. But
I don't have a beard.
You don't have a beard. No, he tried to grow one for No Shave November, and he's still working on it. It's November 25th, and he's got a whisker one right here.
Yeah.
It's gray though.
But Harley, here's the deal. And so I agree, Harley needs to pay attention to it, but it's not doom or gloom like this guy makes it seem. We still got young people buying Harley-Davidsons in their 20s. And we see some of it in the chat about how you were brought up. I see Matt's in their chat and Matt Pass too. But they're making the 750 Street and the 500 series to try to get that younger commuter demographic because it is a changing society and you definitely want to grab those. And here's what I said, Matt, last podcast, which might bring something up that you want to talk about. But here's the deal. When I was 16, I thought Harley was cool, but I would have it never even crossed my mind that I would ever afford a Harley at that age. I knew that was going to be later in life. So I wanted to ride a motorcycle. So I bought a Honda sports bike. Okay. That's what I could afford. That's what I could get into. Now, they didn't have any of these lines back then. So my question is, taking it back a bit for you, taking it back to when I was 16 or 18, and I had a katana too. Man, we talked about that. That's really dating us.
Man.
I'm a katana rider.
Ninja.
See, Matt knows.
Backpack on with like a ninja.
The hurricane.
So, so standing those years back, and this might bring up some interesting chat, would I have bought, instead of a sports bike, had there been a entry-level model Harley back then, would I have considered buying a Harley? And that's important. And I know, Oscar, you might have something to say on this. Squid likely too. Oscar had mentioned before that, okay, well, that doesn't really matter because if you're going to buy a Harley, you're going to buy it when you're older anyways. But here's the deal. That's market share. Regardless here's the 2 points to this.
Right.
Number one,
that's absolutely
are we getting a young man to become brand loyal, which is why Harley-Davidson is trying to acquire ATK dirt motorcycles. So do we get this guy as a young man to buy a motorcycle stamped Harley-Davidson and make him brand loyal so that the rest of his life he buys Harleys? The other point to that is Harley's going to make money because now I'm buying a Harley at 17.
Well, not only young men, but you look at their commercials.
Right.
They're putting the hot Italian long-haired female models on the screen saying, "Hey, look, woman, you can be on this too," and not on the back. They're on the bars going down the road.
But I think Harley's, that's a whole nother point. Where's my notepad? I think Harley.
He's getting a notepad
I'm getting my notepad out, Matt Pass, we're going to be here till midnight. Okay. No, we're not going to be here. All right. Let me look. Let me write this down.
And because just last week I got my little advertisement from Harley Corp, and it had a bunch of little hotties.
You're right.
Holding the bars going down the road.
Yeah.
By the way, he said advertisement.
Advertisement.
I love the way you say that.
Advertisement.
It's like coupon, right?
You should be riding a Royal.
It's a coupon.
You should be riding a Royal Enfield with your advertisement.
Yeah, you should be riding a Royal Enfield if you're going to say coupon and advertisement. Advertisement.
You can't even.
I can't say it wrong.
Advertisement. Come on, it's not that hard.
But even they realize that they have to divest themselves from that white elderly male stigma.
Right.
They have to.
Maybe, but that might be their core demographic too.
But
you know what I mean? And so you hold that.
I've never
No, I love
gone to
it.
the Harley
I'm
store
orchestrating.
and just like bikes for white guys only. I've never seen that. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
But still, I get what you're saying. No, in the past, coming up, until today, it was definitely more of a middle-aged white guy bike, right?
Totally.
But that is changing. That's totally changing.
It is, but they need to focus on that.
California. Yes.
I agree. Yeah, go ahead, Squid.
And they're pushing that out, and along with the various motorbike club shows are pushing more of the Hispanic look and less of the burly Caucasian male with tattoos and long hair stuff. They're trying to show, hey, there are more than just these guys riding these bikes.
Right.
Get out and ride.
And they need to do that. They do, because if they're going to keep their company going, they need to grab into those, different areas, different people. They need to females, that every company needs to do that. And they're definitely lacking there, and they realize it. We'll talk about it a little bit later. When you look at some of their graphs and charts, they're aware of it, and it used to be very much, that market. And so Harley is aware, and, by not changing, that's how companies go down. And so I know that they have their sights set. We'll talk about it a little bit, but some of their graphs to their investors relations. I don't know if you got to see any of those, because I didn't send you second notes.
No, but I do look at other.
Did you? Okay.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So as a company, as a corporation, hence the birth of the 750 and the 500. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. As a corporation, they need to make money. But as far as a motorcycle maker, it's polluting their DNA. But I get it. In order to make the motorcycles that we love, they have to make money. And
correct.
And so if they're not selling as many, then they need to diverge to some other market. But I don't buy the whole, I need to make a Harley guy at 16 because then he'll buy Harleys his whole life. That's bullshit. If they want to sell the 750 and the 500,
do you believe that? I don't believe that.
I don't buy it. I don't think that's true, because I
totally disagree.
Dissension.
See, I think I disagree. I think Matt disagrees. Yeah.
I know. You know what? I don't. Damn. This is what I do, and I don't disagree. This goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Is analytically speaking, you can take Harley-Davidson and another company with the same economical, let's just say they're evenly yoked as far as from an analytical standpoint. And Harley-Davidson will perform, even if their product is shit, better or differently than a different company. Meaning, if you were to analyze them just in general, without the product, without knowing their client base, without anything else, and say, I will put $1 million that this company will fail at the end of 2 years, Harley-Davidson will surprise you every time. And that's because their customers are loyal base. So with that said, we know BMW does it. We know Mercedes-Benz does it. They will create a 1 series, a 2 series, a 3 series, or a 3 series, 5 series, 7 series, whatever it is. When a person first gets their first job out of college, they're going to buy a BMW 3 series. Then when they get the promotion, they're going to go out, they're going to buy the 5 series. Then they're going to go and graduate all the way to the 7 series. And this is also true with let's just say your internet service provider. And well, you're real techie, Ryan. So you got to plug your ears here, because I know you will switch providers if they're giving you shitty service, right? But what I'm saying is the number one reason why people don't switch television or internet providers is because they understand the system, they know how it works, and they don't want to change, right? So to that extent, I agree. If you get someone hooked on Harley-Davidson at a young age, they're not going to want to change. But at the same time, I think there's more people wanting the bigger Harley-Davidsons later on in life than there are entry-level people coming in wanting Harley-Davidsons at the 500 and 750cc mark. Does that make sense, or am I rambling too much?
No, yeah.
You're spot on. I think you're spot on there.
And that's what I'm saying is that market. I mean, I started with small Hondas and dirt bikes, and I wasn't brand loyal to anything until I got a Harley. But I wasn't going to ride a Harley because it was a Harley when I was younger, because I didn't care. And that goes back to you're talking about the millennial generation, is they're not necessarily brand loyal. They want something that works, and they don't want to deal with it. So
they want it cheap.
And so if that's what Harley's going to make, great. But I don't know that necessarily makes them brand loyal to Harley forever. I don't think they're growing corn stalks. They're making a product that people can afford at a certain age, and they're making an excellent product, and it's getting better all the time. That's their market.
I do think, though, to jump in there, that there is, I think it does make sense. I really do, to go after, to try to get that Harley-Davidson brand in their hands, early. Yeah. It's all kind of what you're introduced to. And I see some of it in the live chat, my kids are, and not, I don't even want to go down that rabbit trail, but we have all Apple stuff around our house.
Yeah.
They're pretty brand loyal to Apple, and because they use PCs at school. I don't want to go down that piece.
Here
Okay,
we go.
I'm just saying. Here we go. I'm just saying. But then again, the Apple is a lot more expensive, you know,
Sure.
and so you take all that into account. And again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, I'm just saying. I believe because they were introduced and have used both, when you're only exposed to one, they may be more apt. Just like me growing up, if we want to do the Chevy Ford thing, I really don't have anything against Ford. I was a Chevy guy. Why? Because we had Chevys when we were young. And even into my 20s, my first rig, I ain't buying no Ford, fucked over rebuilt Dodge. Okay?
Yeah.
You remember all those?
Found on the road dead.
I'm taking it back. Found on road dead, fucked over rebuilt Dodge. Okay? I was pretty brand loyal to Chevy, even though I didn't know shit. Just that's what my old man taught me. That's what we wrenched on. And by God, Chevy was way better than Ford. And I went and spent my money as I got married and early in life on Chevy products. So I do think, I really do think, I don't know how much that of the market that's important, but I really do think that if they can, that why they're focusing on that. And they got marketers, trust me, they spend millions of dollars, Matt knows, on some marketing to this younger crowd for a reason, because they really think that, you know, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't believe that there was value.
Everyone makes
that.
mistakes.
There's millions.
No, they killed
there's millions
bike lines.
just in flyers and paper. They spend millions of dollars a year just in print. Millions. So yeah, they don't want to waste the money. There's like any other corporation. If it ain't working, they're going to cut it.
Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special that you can't find anywhere else. Yep, and these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use a Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. That's lawabidingbiker.com/store. All right, so this is good. Good, deep conversation. I like these episodes. And so they do have the 500 Street. If you guys, that's why they're doing that. Here's an interesting thing that I really want to focus on this for a minute. I don't agree with this. So he says, all right, motorcycles are not practical as a primary mode of transportation. Okay, I agree. Most people don't use them as I do.
In the U.S.
I do.
That's a U.S.
Correct.
thing.
You're totally. But we're talking about Harley.
Yeah, okay.
So yes,
Right.
in the U.S., you're right. It is my mode, like 95% of the time, except in the winter when there's snow on the ground. But of course, I work on a motorcycle, so it's a little different for me. So motorcycles are not practical as a primary mode of transportation, snow, cold, etc. During the bad economy, when there's a bad economy, they are seen as luxury items, and on the first to get cut out. So, you know, right now economy's good, economy's bad. Over time, we see it's kind of a luxury item. People start chopping motorcycles, right? It's kind of just one of those extra things. Mm-hmm. We know all the garage bikers out there. Yeah, a lot of guys own Harleys and they ride them 2 miles a year to lunch and back, and they shine them the rest of the winter. We know those garage bikers, that happens. But he says they're big and powerful. He says today, and I don't like this comment because I don't know who he is. Today, we are more worried about fuel efficiency and environmental impact. So,
on a motorcycle?
So, I know. So clearly he's from San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a turd thing to say.
It pissed me off. It pissed me off, Matt. Because I don't know who he's talking for.
But clearly we are. That's why we're riding motorcycles.
But I think he's coming at the aspect. I think he's coming to the point of the government, the man coming down to you saying.
I think he was talking about customers.
I think he's
talking about the customers for Harleys. They don't want to buy Harleys because, by God, Squid, you're more worried about efficiency and pollution.
No.
Efficiency and pollution is an irrelevant argument for motorcycles, against motorcycles.
So stupid.
That's asinine. My gosh, this guy should win the frickin' presidency. Why?
I don't think I ever look at the dollar amount on the pump when I'm putting gas in my bike.
No, and this is why I think it pisses all of us off as Harley owners. Honestly, and I'm sorry if there's anybody out there that's an environmentalist, I don't give a rat's ass about fuel efficiency on my heart or how much exhaust I'm putting out. And maybe that's dumb, I don't care. I know that they're within federal standards. They're required to be within federal standards. And I put exhaust and pipes on my bike, and that's the last worry of mine. So I think he's talking about this, some of these, I think he's tainted, obviously. I think he's from San Francisco. And if he came here, and he would probably say something different. He goes, here's his statement on his video if he would have come here. Clearly, these dumbasses, these dumb rednecks don't give a shit about fuel efficiency, economy, or anything else. They just care that their bike's fast and loud.
Well, that is true.
Bye, sir. I don't give a shit about your opinion.
But you know what? Ironically enough, so our motors program is new, and so one of the things I was doing was tallying the fuel economy savings in my car versus my bike, because I'm doing.
We're already doing the world a favor.
Shit, are you kidding me? Instead of 20 gallons a day, I'm doing like 4 gallons a day, the same amount of miles,
Saving money.
saving a shitload of money, and saving a shitload of emissions. Because the bike goes faster, and so the emissions, they spread out more in the air, and they are diluted faster.
The solution to pollution is
So
pollution.
is the general consensus that it's bad to say people don't want to buy Harleys because they're horrible on the freaking environment, right? So that's a bad argument to make, right? Just want to make sure we're all good.
Yes.
Yeah, we're with you.
I think you pretty much summed that up.
Yeah, good work.
What a moron.
Yeah, real idiot.
And that's when I started, when I watched this video, I'm like, okay, this guy just doesn't have a clue. Yeah. He's from some highly liberal area.
Wait, Ross Gnomes. Sounds like something Al Gore would say.
Yeah, Ross Tomez, yeah, nice, in the private chat.
Well, until they make, a awesome freaking motorcycle or a Harley that runs on used fry oil, I'm going to continue to ride a Harley or a Yamaha or whatever the hell I want to ride. That's just going to blow. If they made a diesel bike, I'd drive the shit out of that. Okay.
Hey, actually, there is one, Matt. There's a diesel bike out there, but it never hit production.
I don't know why I don't own one. Then that's ridiculous. I should own that
because
I should own that right now.
Soot pollutes the environment, Matt. Jeez, soot is.
I want to put a big old smokestack on it and blow out the smokestack on this asshole's car. You know what I mean? Driving by, take that for emissions, dick. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
Keith French in the private chat, in reference to emissions and fuel, says it was not in the conversation when I was buying my Milwaukee 8. Thanks for that, Keith. All right, let's keep going down because we got a bit to go. This is awesome. He says, this guy in this video says their customers are getting too old, and this is what I alluded to, that we're all going to die and Harley's out of business. He shows a picture of these young guys on Harleys. He follows up by a picture of the old missing tooth guy with the beard. He says the younger generation just isn't into motorcycle like they used to be. He says they are more technologically inclined than mechanically inclined, which is an interesting thing. We could go down a hole there. Do you have to be, my question is, do you have to be more mechanically inclined to ride a Harley? I think we've already covered this.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
So
we did.
That's good. He says the few younger people that are into motorcycles typically value speed over power. They gravitate to a smaller, faster bike like Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki. So clearly this guy's a liberal from San Francisco that works for Yamaha. He says...
And what a moron. So he doesn't understand that like the Yamaha 1700 Roadstar was actually the most customized motorcycle, big CCV twin for many, many years running. And that Honda makes the damn Goldwing, which is one of the biggest mother effing freaking bikes touring across America right now.
Clearly...
that's, here's your sign.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Honda and Yamaha, they don't make big bikes.
No.
There's no such thing as a Goldwing, or there's no such thing as a Triumph Rocket 3. Those don't exist.
And see, good point, Matt. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You got to know your source. This guy clearly sounds uneducated on a lot of things, which is why I had to bring that up for sure. He says Honda motorcycle segment is very competitive with Harley, and it's not even the area and they specialize. What facts does he have?
They don't make motorcycles.
Correct.
They don't make motorcycles.
Right.
They don't specialize in motorcycles. That's not what they do.
Yeah. I love that
They just
statement.
fall out of the cars. When the cars are done being made, motorcycles are a byproduct. Here we go.
On Tuesdays, we'll make a bike.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got these guys on overtime left over, after assembling the last Accord.
That's fun. That one tickled. That was funny.
Yeah, this is when this guy gets into his video and you're starting to be like, okay, he really doesn't know what he's talking about that much. So he said every industry or product that lasts multiple generations has to focus on pulling in new generations. I'm going to breeze over some of the stuff because I think we've covered some of this.
Yeah.
But I want to hit on these points, give you guys stuff to chew on out there in the audience. And HD does have to focus on that. I agree. We've talked about that. They really do. In my opinion, IMO. They do. I know Oscar doesn't totally agree with that, but he relates HD to Disney, who has to focus on getting younger generation. Okay, so I agree. HD has a harder road trying to get younger people. He talks a little bit about this. Disney, it's easy, right? It's a movie. It's a movie ticket. Okay, it's the price of a movie ticket to get young people. Like I give my kids, take them to a Disney movie, $8, $10, whatever it costs to get in a movie these days, $12. And that's all the price of admission that they can get brand loyal to Disney, right? Harley, you're talking about $30,000, $40,000 unless you get in the 750 street or something like that. So although he compares it to Disney, I don't totally agree. And I don't think he even totally agreed by what he said, that it's very much easy for Disney to have that generational thing where they can continue to go after the new generation very easily. It's not a huge hurdle for them, so to speak. It's the barrier, the entry barrier is much lower. So Harley, it's very difficult because they're selling a high end, expensive product. Motorcycles aren't going to enter a person's life until they are much older, unless introduced at a very young age, he says. I think we talked about a little bit that. Our kids may have a higher likelihood to like Harley and motorcycles in general, as they've been introduced to riding. I think that stands true for all sports, is what I said.
It's called forced choice.
Correct.
Like when my kid says Hyundai Smacker,
right, so. yeah. Forced choice, yeah. And I think that's true, and I think we've alluded to that, and you guys can follow up if you want on this. Clearly, and I think Squid alluded to it a little bit, and some of the people in the chat room, yeah, my dad introduced me to this. It's kind of like snowboarding or skiing. I've introduced my kids to snowboarding. Are they going to be more likely when they're older to give ski resorts money? Yes. I mean, it is.
It's what they know.
Kids are a product of their environment. So, and I think that's kind of what Harley's focusing on. You know what I mean? Trying to get in the minds. Again,
I guess,
but to the younger generation.
Yeah. Oh, I rode K2 skis. My dad rode K2, so only I can ride K2. Or like my dad only shot Remingtons.
Well, until you build your own experiences, and then you make a choice.
Okay. Amen. That well put. I'm there.
And they say, and I know, Matt, I'll give it the mic to you here, but he says, Harley costs a lot of money and you are adopting a lifestyle. I agree. So is skiing. Yeah. So is snowboarding. They're expensive sports, and it's more than Disney. Disney's a price of entry. Here you really got to get into, as we do right here. I mean, we have Patron members. We have people that love this sport, that love this industry of motorcycles, and we're willing to all spend time together to talk about it on a Saturday evening. So it is more of a lifestyle, I think. And so I think he brings some good points here. Matt, you have something to say?
I just go back to saying Harley-Davidson in general, it's one of those products, it's one of those things that's an anomaly. It can't be looked at and analyzed in the same fashion that you do other companies or other products or other things in general. And that does go to lifestyle. Harley-Davidson, for some reason, everyone can figure out the reason, but will always resonate freedom, being a rebel, being slightly outside the box, doing things different, feeling that need for speed, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of being out on the road. These are all the things that Harley-Davidson, above and beyond any other motorcycle manufacturer in the world, is associated with. And there will always be, no matter what generation you come from, no matter what job you have, no matter if you're more technically inclined, mechanically inclined, within every single one of those demographic groups, there's always going to be a percentage of people that feel that need for speed, freedom. There may be a black sheep within their group, a little bit of a rebel. Harley-Davidson will always have that will always be appealing to them because of that. But not Yamaha. Not that they don't make great bikes. I love Yamaha. But not Honda. Why? No one knows. No one really knows. When you really break down the performance and affordability and everything else, Harley-Davidson represents all those things. So until that goes away, which it never will, in my opinion, you're never going to be able to analyze how Harley-Davidson will perform in sales and everything else in the future.
Yep. Well said.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, I love it. I love it. Do you guys have any follow up on that?
I think hit it all.
Yeah, I agree.
He hit it all.
Awesome.
So
Well put.
let's pull up some. Here's from the Harley-Davidson. You guys will find this interesting in the audience. So basically, the whole premise of what we're talking about is there's a lot of people, skeptics, that believe Harley is going down. And that's why they're writing articles like this, and that's why they're making videos like this. And everybody can be a Monday morning quarterback, about Harley-Davidson. They're still the top dog in the United States. They have been. These articles and these videos have been being made for 10 years. Harley is doing a lot of things. If you look at them, like we've talked about, the Rushmore Project, the Milwaukee 8, the integrated technology into the. They're trying, okay. I know. You notice I didn't even say the double B word, the boom box. Okay,
POS.
I said they're trying. I know Squid's gonna reach over here and strangle me. I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying clearly that's one thing. They, with the Milwaukee 8, the 750, the 500 Street, the Rushmore, the Milwaukee 8, all these things they're trying to do. Clearly they're making huge changes internally within the company, looking at ATK, at purchasing that dirt bike company, looking at Ducati to purchase that company. They made bids on it. There's a whole bunch of things. There's reasons they're doing all that. They do want to stay competitive. They want to stay the top dog. They're not sitting on their asses. Trust me. So that's the whole premise behind this. So let's look at investor relations. This is some interesting stuff. And if you go to their investor relations page, I'll put a link in the show notes. In fact, let me do this for the live patron only audience. I'm going to put a link in the chat. That's exactly the page I'm looking at. So here we go. Let's look at some demographics, and then we have some follow-up on this. So if we're looking at overall U.S. customer demographics 2016, Caucasian men, 35 plus. What do you say here, Squid? I'm looking, that's a little over half, basically.
Yeah, about
maybe 60%. Okay, very fair. And I think that's written somewhere. Let's look at young adults demographics. We're looking at pie charts. So Harley-Davidson market share on young adult men and women 18 to 34, motorcycles 601cc and plus in size. They have 42%. Make sure I'm reading this right here.
Yeah.
Harley-Davidson market share is 42.5% of the market share. Their nearest competitor in the market share is 13.5%. And we'll talk about what that number alone looks cool. Is it really cool? We're not sure, because it depends on.
Well, yeah. What's important?
Tell me this.
The illustration of that diagram is that it's up from 2008. So that they are
from 2008 to 2016, right?
They're achieving what they're setting out to achieve already. They're appealing to the younger riders. Yeah, they're appealing to the younger riders already.
Right, interesting. So in 2008 it was 31%, and now in 2016 it's 42.5%. So they've made the gap bigger between their closest competitors, right?
Yes, and the market share for the same age groups for other competitors has gone down.
From 19.2% in 2008 to 13.5%. So they went up, and their nearest competitor went down. Nice.
Which this rebuttals one of the comments he makes at the end, saying that, well, I mean, in 2008 it could have been a market. So that 31% could have been of $1 million, and 2016 it could have been $1. 42% of $1 is not that much. Either way, the market share, I mean, total amount of units, motorcycle units through all manufacturers sold, period. 42% was Harley-Davidson. 13.5% was the competitors.
Yes.
I don't care if maybe the 100,000 less bikes were sold in 2016 than 2008. Who gives a rat's ass? Doesn't matter. Out of the total amount that were sold through all competitors, the Harley had a bigger piece of that pie. And I think it's important, because if people watch the video, it's important to point that out, I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I really appreciate you cleaning that up, because we were going to get to that. You actually cleaned it up better than I was going to try to clean it up. So it's good, because we will talk about that. Yeah, he tries to minimize this. This is on their investor relations page for a reason, because they want their investors to know, look at where we're going, look at what we're doing. So let's move to women. Women, Caucasian women, 35 plus, 601cc plus. In 2008, Harley-Davidson had 47.9% of the market share. Their nearest competitor had 15.4%. Now look at this. In women, in 2016, there went up to almost 60% market share, and their nearest competitor went down to 5.5% with women in 601. Yeah, go ahead.
And you look at these numbers, 35 plus years of age. So these are, post 2-3 kids, professional, midlife, doing well in their careers.
MILFs.
Yes,
MILFs.
And maybe even a GILF in there.
Amen.
GILF in there.
Yeah.
I love MILFs.
And now they have the freedom to go out and take their hard-earned dollars and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good call. Thanks for...
something else to point out here is one of the reasons why they've done so well with the female audience is... I'll just use my local Harley dealership here next to me. My wife was looking at what they call a road queen, right? It was the what are they? Dang it, now I forgot the actual real name of the bike. It's like a mini Road King, right?
Oh, that Dyna switchback.
Switchback.
Yeah. So it was so they're like, hey, we're going to something we do with a lot of girls. We are going to throw in the rider course for free through Harley-Davidson.
Nice.
They've been doing that a lot across the dealerships, and they're like, hey, if we can get more women riding, great. It's it's a $225 value or $250 value. You buy the bike, we're going to throw it in there, and we're going to teach you how to ride so you're more confident on the bike. They're like, why the hell wouldn't I buy a Harley? That's some of the shit I'm talking about. Like, that is a perfect thing to do. Like, throw in, like, who teaches you to ride? Harley people, right? What kind of bike did you buy? I bought the Harley because it was included. Now I feel more confident on my Harley. What's the next bike that female is going to buy? Probably a Harley-Davidson.
Yep.
And then she go tell her coffee club group, I bought my bike there at the Harley.
Yep.
Her Bunko group. Why don't you just say it? Bunko.
Bunko.
Hey.
Bunko, really?
I just want to know if she was buying a Harley and they're throwing in all kinds of stuff, what would have Al Franken thrown in?
Oh, wow.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
Free hand grabs.
Yeah. He would have thrown in his own free exhaust.
Yeah. That was a low blow.
Oh,
low blow.
Yeah.
Just
he would have thrown in a low blow too. But, yeah, he did.
That was straight up low blow. Okay, let me get us back on track. So let's move on. African Americans. This is African American men and women, 35 plus, 601cc plus. So 2008 Harley had this is a good graph too here. So they had 35.2%, and their closest competitor was at 19.5. Then bumping to 2016, Harley's market share went up to 53.7% in the African American men and women market, and their competitor plummeted to 7.1%, their nearest competitor. So that's an interesting statistic. Clearly, so women, they're focusing on, African American, they're focusing on, and they're making strides. You guys have anything follow up on that?
Well,
I think that's
I'd say
that's accurate. So.
For 2016, I know just from being African American.
Are you? Damn it.
Shucker.
I did not know he was African American this whole time you're sitting there.
But I can tell you, in that market share, I know a lot of individuals that said, I want to go out and buy a Harley. That is my status symbol.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting,
My
man.
friends back home in the hood, that's their status symbol. They went out and they made their money, got good jobs working for things like BART and AC Transit down in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And they went out and said, hey, I made it. I bought a Harley.
You've made it.
Not a Honda, not something else, but a Harley.
I agree with you. It is a status symbol to a lot. I agree. I think that's...
So I can believe those numbers in 2016.
Wow. So that's good.
100%. I'm up here in Vacaville. I'm right by the Bay Area. Right here. I'm in between San Francisco and Sacramento. And I will tell you what you just said is 100% spot on. In fact, I mean, you go out on the weekends, you see who's riding in the clubs that are out there riding. It's not a bunch of freaking 35-year-old white guys. It really isn't. There's big, badass baggers and freaking just tricked out bikes, and it's not a bunch of white guys on it. It's Hispanic, black, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's really not. There's no, at least where I'm at, there's no, you can't say, oh, it's a majority of this demographic that's here. It's everybody.
Right.
It's the whole melting pot.
And it's just showing that the economy has improved and people have more disposable income.
Yep. Right now, you're right. You absolutely do. It's a good time, and Hardy's making their moves for sure. So that's good. That's really good insight there, Squid. Thank you. Hispanics. Let's move to Hispanics. So here we go. And we have a lot of Hispanics around here that ride, of course. I know many. 35 plus, Hispanic men and women, 35 plus, 601cc and above, 2008, Harley, 42% of the market share. Nearest competitor, 15.3%. Moved to 2016, bam, 54.2%. Their nearest competitor plummeted to 7.6%. So we're talking, they're up at every category: young, women, African-American, Hispanics. Let's look at men 35 plus. So in 2008, men 35 plus, Caucasian men, I should say, 601cc plus. In 2008, 45.4% Harley market share. Nearest competitor, 2008, 15.3. This is a good jump too. Bump to 2016, Harley's up to 55.7 and plummeted their nearest competitor to 5.8%. So those are some pretty, I mean, what do you guys think about that? And this is their investor relations page, so these numbers aren't made up. These are for their investors. They want people to invest in Harley-Davidson. You got, before I want to talk a little bit more too, Matt, here in a second about what this guy says about that, tries to minimize those numbers. You can try to minimize them however you want. It clearly shows that Harley's moving for their investors in the right direction. That's what they want to show by those graphs. What say you?
That's a pummeling.
Well, they're not losing any money. I mean, if they're showing, 20% gains in market share over 8-year period throughout the groups.
Well, right, but one of the things that for Harley, it is motorcycle sales in general are down. So they're picking up more market share, but everyone's selling fewer bikes to break even.
Correct. If you have less people buying bikes, your market share can go up 100%. But if you have 50% of the people that were buying bikes 8 years ago, your actually company income is down.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess
so.
But that's not Harley's problem. That's everyone's problem.
Correct. That's industry wide.
Yeah. Right.
Good point. Go ahead, Matt.
Right. No, and I think there's. It's really interesting to see here is when you talk about being on the right path. Young adults, women, African Americans, Hispanics was the biggest, the 4 biggest leaps out of the 4 or out of the 5. Excuse me. The Hispanic market and the men 35, Caucasian were very similar, but every demographic aside from white male was actually leapt and bound in comparison, right? So I think that's really important to look at when you look at the market share and you look at how they're growing, how are they innovating their products, how are they appealing to everybody? It's obvious. Like we were saying, if you sold 100,000 less bikes last year, but this year you have more of a market share, you're still doing better as far as from that viewpoint. Your profit margin may not be as high, but that's still everyone's selling less bikes.
And that's exactly the point. Yeah.
And this shows another thing is if people aren't buying bikes, they're still buying more Harleys.
Right.
I mean, even with people buying less bikes, they're buying more Harleys. So when people, let's just say we magic it into, we talk into an existence tomorrow, people suddenly are out there buying tens of thousands, more motorcycles. This obviously proves that more women are going to buy Harleys, more Hispanics are going to go get Harleys, more African Americans, everybody is going to buy more Harleys. So it kind of puts a wrench in this guy's gears a little bit.
I agree.
And everything he's saying. So
I agree.
And he puts it in there. But he uses it the wrong way. Like, how are you going to make a point and then just say, this is why my point sucks, but it proves my point? No, it doesn't, dude. It sucks. Your point sucks.
Yeah, clearly we saw by this statement, he was trying to take his video, but then he showed those graphs and he's like, fuck.
Shit.
Why did I do that?
I got to argue with the statistics. So he tried to minimize it a little bit. We're like, dude, your whole video, I think he must have made all the video and then got to that and went, how am I going to get out of this and make my video go the way I want it to go? You know what I mean? I think he was like, okay, we got to say something bad about the stats. All right. So this is going good. And thank you for everybody that's still in the, I'm just fixing
my phone's
here.
about dead, unfortunately.
No, it's going great. And thank you all the patrons that are in here for sticking with us. And I hope you enjoy this patron only event. Like I said, I want to keep doing things special for you guys. So he says, though, he finishes his video by saying, and then we'll close it up. Not that they are all struggling in the industry. So he clearly says, Harley is not struggling, but by his title in the beginning of this video, you would think Harley's going down, like all toothless, bearded, white males are dying and nobody's going to buy them. So, they may be able to regain their former status in the industry, he says, just not to the level they once were. I don't know what that means.
They got more market share.
Correct.
They got more market share. What the hell is this asshole talking
Correct.
about? They got more market share. Like, get to the point that they were before. You mean selling more motorcycles than any competitor out there?
Well,
They're still doing that, asshole.
I think what he wants is he wants there to be no other motorcycle manufacturers. Right. Just Harley. That would be success for him.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that ain't happening.
That is definitely not happening.
Well, you want to know something else that this shows, actually? And sorry to interrupt, Ryan. You want to know what else these statistics show? Goes hand in hand with what everybody's been bitching about. Harley is losing touch with their clients, with their base, with their core customers. Well, yeah, because we're getting more young adults, more women, more African Americans, more Hispanics. So is losing touch with what you would consider your typical, like he shows a toothless, bearded white guy. It's in his 70s, right? Like, that's not what they're targeting. It's okay if that's what you're considering their bases. And I don't know, I just pulled that out of a hat, but it's only because he showed the picture, right? If that's what you're considering the base, and Harley Davidson is losing touch with base, well, that's not such a bad thing, because they're obviously appealing to more of the demographics they need to be appealing to, and they have more market share. So,
yeah, that's good. I'm just talking in here for a second in the chat. Yeah, no, it is. And to the status they once were, Matt, I know why you get amped up about that age too. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I guess he's trying to think of the 60s and movies, and they're more popular than they ever were. They're selling more bikes. Of course, economy's changed. We could get into that, but I don't think that they've lost any status. In fact, they have highly, based on what we know here at Law Abiding Biker Media, and everybody that's here are very brand loyal. And I'm not saying everybody here rides a Harley. Again, we support all, but I'm just saying there's still a huge brand loyalty to Harley. And that's one of the things he talks about here, which we're going to bring up, is they still, have that brand loyalty. They're going to have to do it with their product, he says. I think we see them doing that with the Rushmore, with the Milwaukee 8, with the technology being placed. I'm looking at Squid because he just wants to strangle me. I'm not going to say it, Squid. I'm not going to say it. With the technology, they're trying. Okay. I agree. They have
monkeys could do a better job.
He just said it. Oh boy. It's out of his system. But they can't rely on their brand name like in the past. I agree to a certain extent because they have more competition now. But they may have to tailor their product to what the younger population wants. We've talked about that. I think that they're doing that with the thing they have to be careful about with that. And I think you guys will agree is that's great to make 750 and 500, but don't ever forget about the guys sitting in this room and Matt Pass about what we want. It's okay to go there. Don't let it affect what your core audience, your core purchasers want, right?
Duh.
So
you know why AC/DC and Def Leppard and all these 80s bands and even late 70s bands are back on tour? Because the people that supported them now have more money now.
So they can spend more on tickets.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Amen.
There you go, buddy.
Don't forget about it.
AC/DC.
These guys are old as shit too, and they're still touring.
I need my long hair. All right, enough of that noise. I had to. Oscar, good point. I think it was a good point.
We're in our middle lives. We have money, we have jobs, and we're stable.
Disposable income.
Exactly.
And we agree, but Harley Davidson's doing that with their lineup. This guy thinks that HD will never return to what they once were. I don't know what that means.
I think they're better than what they once were.
What's that benchmark? What's that benchmark?
Yeah.
Like? What you once were, like, meaning 1903, where motorcycles are a new freaking thing? Like, What the hell are you talking about?
Right. I just think he misses the mark with that comment.
I think he's talking about the Evo motors. I think those were, those are the pinnacle.
The pinnacle of Harley Davidson. Yeah.
Of crap?
Yeah, no, I was being facetious.
Fecal matter?
Oh yeah, that too. Damn it. I was kidding. They're better than they were. They're better than they ever have been.
Yeah, and there hasn't been any shows like Sons of Anarchy or spin-offs like the Mayans or anything else like that. I mean,
right.
Because motorcycles are hugely unpopular.
Yeah, right.
Just completely.
Right.
The number one FX running series. They sold more Harleys from that show. This guy thinks that they can steal from competitors. I agree. which is what they're trying to do with Royal Enfield to tie all that back in. They're trying to keep them out of that market,
right.
Especially here in the U.S. He says they need to make HD needs to make motorcycles popular once again. Again, I don't think motorcycles in general are unpopular right now because I see a shitload of them riding around, and just the growth of law-abiding biker media. I'm not seeing that there's a lack of motorcycle enthusiasts. Yeah. That's just my personal research.
Might be one or two people that enjoy a motorcycle or two.
Yeah,
might be one or two.
Yeah.
I think there's some more of us out there. You know what I mean? And we all know that it's Harley-Davidson's fault if people aren't interested in motorcycles in general. So if they're not, that's obviously Harley-Davidson's fucking fault. So
right.
Well, no, but
according to this guy,
what the hell? That statement actually shows. It disproves his entire video because that statement shows the credit he gives Harley-Davidson to the motorcycle.
Right. They are all knowing.
Well, that they're so popular and so powerful that they alone, essentially is what he's saying is they alone could change the motorcycling culture and make it better.
Right.
So what he's saying is Harley's that good, and they are.
And they have their large market share. What he's admitting to.
Yeah, exactly. But his video does not want to relate.
No.
He wants to get views so he can be a YouTube millionaire.
Yeah, from AdSense or some shit like that.
Here's all the problems facing Harley-Davidson. Here's a bunch of graphs that disproves my theory, and that bike sucks. So we're going to move on and end it and say Harley-Davidson should be making motorcycles popular again. See you guys later. Click to subscribe.
Matt's going to be a millionaire. He's got it down.
And also click the ads. I get more money if you click the ads.
Below.
You know what? We love our patrons. This is a patron-only event. Of course, it'll come out in regular podcast format down the road. We love our patrons. We want you to be involved with the private Facebook group. We want you to have benefits, all that kind of stuff. But if you can't become a patron for whatever reason, you just want to leave a flat donation, well, we never balk at a flat donation. Channing Rankin of Longview, Texas. Thank you. Arizona Corral Company of Yuma, Arizona. Jose Cuoto of Kent, Washington, over the West Side. Message, he says, great job, keep it up. John Palanowicz of Northburg, Massachusetts, substantial donation. EJ Valaza, David Meister of Macedonius, Ohio. That's right. lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how they got there. You can leave a flat donation if that is the way you choose to support us. But like I say, we would love to have you in this private patron event and get you some benefits and get to know you a little better in that private Facebook group. But thank you for those donations, and that is a way that helps support us. So,
and one note on that, the chat is a lot more fun when we kind of know everyone.
Correct.
There's no one out there.
Names in there.
It's awesome, and so because we're seeing people on the page every day, so I can respond and I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Yeah, instead of just some random whoever.
It's a good point.
It's fun. It made it more enjoyable to be when my phone was alive.
And this is our premiere. Of the first private patron only, and patrons helping integrate Facebook now, so it's all getting better. And we really want to ramp up Patron.
Broken.
We really want to prove to our patrons that we want to. Yeah, what happened?
On the premiere, Daryl got his cherry broke.
He did.
He did.
He did.
Split it open.
And straight up, dude. But he's done. I tell you, he's done well, man.
Fantastic.
He's straight up done well for two. Live back to back, dude. So.
Marathon. This is marathon podcasting,
and that's after working all day.
Oh, nice! Wow, you got more energy than I do.
Straight up popped.
Oh, that's a nice sound effect.
Oh man.
All right. I'm watching what the hell I'm doing in my office. What the fuck is going on in there?
She's like, you're not hanging out with those law-abiding biker guys anymore. Those guys are fucking sick.
What are you watching in there? You're not doing a podcast. What the hell?
That's good stuff, dude. All right, so let's wind it down and bring it all back in. I think, and if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, I think this is the time. I want to this is a great episode. I know we've gone long, but this is good stuff because this really needed to be discussed, because I know guys on Facebook and people are running Facebook ads and these guys are running these YouTube videos, and we want to get the truth out there and really put some perspective into whether this is really anything new. And I'll tell you, I submit that it's not. This has been going on for years, people doing videos and articles like this, and it hasn't happened yet. And so HD, I told you, is thinking of acquiring ATK motorcycles. They're the only U.S. manufacturer of dirt bikes. Amazing, huh?
I didn't know that.
Very smart. Very smart.
See, thank you, Matt. And I think so too.
Very
and
smart.
We'll talk about that a little bit. Oscar's going to disagree with us. Hey, just quiet.
Oh, you number one.
You're number one over there. I noted that it's from the market where young riders get their first taste of motorcycling, and this is who they will eventually be upgrading to street bikes, Harley sales. So they're also, I can tell you from my research, Ducati. I know they've bidded. They haven't acquired Ducati. Same thing. If they can run some Ducati motorcycles, sports bikes, and we had a comment earlier on the last, they've tried that before. A lot of people, I get it, but it's not before. It's 2018 going on. And just because something didn't work in the past, you have to always strategize your marketing. And just because it didn't work in the past doesn't mean it's not the right time now.
Well,
Squid.
the last time they had a crap product. And
Right.
they
Thank you.
didn't care about quality control.
Mm-hmm.
Now they realize if they're going to sell a widget, it has to be the best damn widget out there.
If it's going to have the Harley name on it, it better be the best damn widget.
Right. You got to pay the tax.
Right.
Right.
You got to pay
Right.
it. And you will pay it.
Yep.
And you know you're going to pay it, but you don't care.
Right.
But it better be good.
Brand loyal.
Yep.
They hold that.
I've also found that getting really, really drunk and vomiting everywhere, it sounds good. And I try it again thinking, oh, this time it'll be better. And it's never better.
But you do it again and again and again.
Well, no, see, I eventually learn not to do that anymore. Oh, it's whiskey, not beer. Don't drink it that much. Okay, so thank you. Stay out of the dirt bike business, dipshits. You make street bikes. They're nice ones. They're fun. Leave the dirt bikes. You know what, Husky?
They don't necessarily have to change the way that company's running, though, to acquire it.
I agree. I don't rebrand them. Leave it ATK.
Yes.
Make money with ATK. Cool. They just don't rebrand it.
Really?
They have to.
No, they don't.
Oh, yeah.
No,
leave
they
it the
don't.
way it is.
They're going to make their money that way. They'll charge another
exactly.
20% just by putting HD on it.
There's going to be enough people that know that Harley acquired them and know that they have Harley backing to make it that much more appealing. But the people who are ATK loyal in general they're going to keep those clients as well.
Yeah.
Because the moment you start really switching things up, those clients go away. But the reason why it's smart, another reason why it's smart to leave it the same brand, leave the people in place, the people that are already doing a good job, the executives that you have there, let that company run how it was running. Your asset is in being able to bring those Harley 500 and 750cc's at the next motocross race where you have a booth there, and then you also bring in the new Heritage or the Fat Boy, and you got all the different marketing advertisements and opportunities and ways to slip in a flyer and to appeal to the young people being introduced to these dirt bikes. If you just have that conduit, it's worth the asset right there. You don't need to change ATK to Harley-Davidson.
Always looking for a way to slip it in. Always. Thank you, Matt Pass. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I'm more of a hunter, not a gatherer. Right? I just like to, find a way of getting it done. Then just sticking around and keeping.
You just wanted to mention slipping it in.
I actually did. Yeah, that was the whole point of the whole
He's
thing.
visualizing you two in the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Front spoon, back spoon. It's all the same.
He just wanted to say. He just wanted to say, slip it in.
I did. Yeah, that's true.
So here's the thing. You guys just might have changed my opinion. I'm listening, and I listened to you and Oscar. I would have been, my first impression and thought was if they buy ATK, they should definitely put the Harley logo on it, because they want people to understand and get ingrained the Harley logo. But now listening to you two and Rick Kremer, in the private Facebook group, says smarter to buy an existing company and label it Harley rather than try to start a new product line, and less damage to the company rep overall if they keep separate names on the lines. So I agree with all three of you now. You just changed my mind. Yeah, go ahead, Squid.
Wasn't there another podcast where we talked about a large conglomerate buying a name, Polaris?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Victory.
Yeah.
They made this company, figured out how to make bikes, bought this name, slapped that name on their product, and now they're making money.
Right. Yep. Although they just had to cancel a Victory line.
Well, yeah, they left
and
Indian.
they lost a big customer base for that.
Yeah, but they left Indian. The whole point was to leave Indian.
Right. Correct. No, I agree. I'm just saying that. Yeah, we could. Yeah,
digressing.
No, it's good.
You can still make a Harley Davidson dirt bike. There's nothing stop if they have the manufacturing power and the asset to produce it. Why the hell not? Try it. And if it fails, whatever, you're not out that big of a money. You didn't subcontract it out. You built it in-house. If it sucks, kick it out the door, right? Whatever. But leave ATK the way it is.
Right.
Make a Harley bike on the side, but leave
I
ATK
agree. And then
I
agree with you guys. And then like I said, I definitely changed my mind. And then, yeah, they'll know Harley owns it. And then, like you say, at booths, like you said, it's great marketing. And then, yeah, hey, we're also makers of Harley-Davidson, and
selling ATK dirt bikes along with Harleys at a dealership, and vice versa.
Oh yes, always looking for, as a salesperson. Give me something else to sell, because I would throw that in. Hey, don't you want to add that dirt bike in for $5,000 too? What's it? It's like an extra $80 a month, and you get a dirt bike too.
It's the American way.
Buy that. Yeah, damn right.
America.
America. Why own something when I can have payments?
That's right.
I'm going to pay on my payments, but make payments for my payments.
All right. So here, let's bring it and wrap it in. Here's what I'll say. And I just want to kind of do a roundhouse. I'll give you my thoughts. Here's one thing I want to talk about, though, real quick, I guess, before we do that roundhouse. Here's my biggest complaint. I get it. We look at the market shares. I don't think that Harley's in danger. They're a huge company. Just looking at their investor relations, clearly, I'm not worried about Royal Enfield. I know that Harley is on the track. They have the people, they have the resources in place to move in that market the way that they need to move. Are they hurting a little bit? Yeah, because they will hurt if they don't continue on the path that they're on. That's why they're not going to allow that to happen. They are going to stay the number one manufacturer. I love Indian motorcycles. They're not going to take Harley. I'm just giving you my opinion. Just the money and the brand loyalness, it's going to be a lot. Will they take some of the market share, Indian? Of course they will. Anybody who makes a decent bike, is going to take some of that market share. But I don't think Harley's in fear of anything. And they're definitely a staple in the industry. Again, I support all bikes. Everybody can afford something different. I'll ride anything with two wheels. But one of the things, Harley looking at the 750 and the 500, I get it. I think they're making good moves, trying to get into that younger demographic. ATK motorcycles, that's great if they want to get into the dirt bike. They do need to expand. It is past a point where they can just, cater to those. They had the monopoly for a long time. They still kind of have the monopoly, but cater to those 35 plus, bearded males, white males, they do need to do that. Every company's doing that. And I don't think Harley's any different. Here's my biggest bitch about Harley-Davidson. And I know they're listening because they listen to every one of my podcasts. Not. Okay, so.
Actually, probably they might.
Nobody laughed at me, so I'm not serious. So, but here's the thing. Harley has got their head up their ass on marketing on some stuff. They're trying so hard, they're failing. And here's where they're failing. They need to understand who their customer base is. Their customer base is every single one of us sitting right here. Okay. They are the community at Law Abiding Biker Media. Harley is fucking up on some things. And here's what I'll say. And I know you guys will have a lot to say this, so let's hear me out. I'm on my rant, Matt. That's why I like you, because I'm on my rant.
Preach it, brother.
So,
preach it.
Harley is missing their marketers. I want to strangle them. Okay. Here's why. You look at what Harley's doing, and regardless, I'm not saying trying to toot Law Abiding Bikers horn. Okay. We have a huge following. Harley-Davidson should be coming to creators like this platform. This is their audience. These are their hardcore brand loyal people that sit here on a Saturday night in a sweaty studio via California, via Skype, via patrons. Okay. This is a large audience, and not just this audience, but other Harley related audiences. You have companies who get it. You have tech companies who get it. You have Apple. Okay. What did Apple do? YouTube is a huge platform. Podcasts are a huge platform. Okay. Nobody gives a fuck if a NBA star buys a fucking Harley. Those days are gone. Yeah. Those days are fucking gone. Nobody cares about NBA and NFL in that context. People will buy Harleys because we say Harleys are good and we have products that are good for Harleys. You have Apple, who is giving the iPhone 10 to influencers. Okay. That's what YouTubers are like in this podcast. We're influencers. They're giving early release of their iPhone 10 in the hands so that they can create hype around their product to people that's their core audience. People will buy iPhones because they gave it to people like MPHD on YouTube. Okay, these guys, MK, I forget what his name is, but he will sell more iPhones than some guy from the NFL will, okay? Because people, it's a different world. People are in these platforms now. They're not.
They want someone that's using it.
Yes.
They want to see somebody
a real
using
guy
it and experiencing
it.
Yes.
They don't want to see a hype man.
They don't want to see a hype man. Those days are gone, and Harley doesn't get that. They're so behind on that they're missing that. And so you have DJI drones doing the same thing. What's the first thing they do? They don't give any athletes or stars. They start sending out free DJI drones to all the YouTubers that have a ton of views on drone channels. That is where it's at. So Harley goes out and they released this new line. I don't know if you guys saw this, and I didn't do a rant on it, but I'm going to rant on a little bit now. And they give bikes to these.
Exactly
you guys know what I'm talking about?
Idiots.
Oh my God.
Idiots. It pisses, not only does it piss everybody on this podcast, it pisses our audience off because it shows us that Harley's detached from their true customer base. It pisses us off because we know they're wasting their money. And I don't care that you did a Facebook Live with some random athlete that got he don't even ride. Like, he didn't even know how to start it. Like, it's a joke. He doesn't care about a Harley. You give a Harley to Matt Pass or Oscar or you on this channel, that impacts lives. And I'm not saying they should give it to us. That's not the point.
I am.
Okay.
If Harley is listening right now, I agree with Ryan that Matt Pass should get a new Harley.
And we filmed, and we filmed that of a law-abiding biker member getting a brand new Harley. That is powerful. And go ahead.
They are concerned you're educated. You'll give a no shit opinion of their product, and they're afraid that unfiltered opinion will be negative.
See, and they shouldn't be afraid of that, because even though I agree with you on that premise that they are afraid, I think their marketers don't get it. But people do that. Like Apple gives it, and so does DJI, and people will say, I like this. I do wish they would change this. People are still going to buy it. Yeah. You would have to say something really shitty. Like, I started this thing and the motor smoked and it blew up. People wouldn't buy it. But if I say, hey, I really like this, I wish they would have put the foot pegs a little bit farther out. No big deal. I can get some aftermarket. So they're missing the boat. They don't get that.
Agreed.
Okay. I'm going to take a breath. It's pissing me off because every other company that's smart is doing that. And Harley is like, that's like 10 years ago. Like, you can't do that. In the face. Yeah, it's a slap in the face.
That whole revealing was is that what you're talking about? The revealing?
Yes, thank you.
The fucking Aquaman, they gave it to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Listen, the reaction, they gave one to Kurt Sutter, like, because we all know Kurt Sutter, doesn't have any motorcycles. He needs a new one, right?
Right.
I mean, he needs a new one. And honestly, if you are going to give it to a celebrity, that's actually one makes sense, since he's creating motorcycle shows. I can kind of see that one, sure. But did he come out in like his fucking flip-flops or something, or was that somebody else? I don't have it in my mind right now, but they came out and sent it. The reactions were horrible. If you would have given it to me, I'd have peed myself like a little girl and ran around the yard going, oh my God, I got a Harley.
Right.
Look at that stuff. My house is in a crate. Open it. Let's do an unveiling. I would have been freaking out.
And you would have sat on it and actually started it and go, and you would have realized how to sit on a motorcycle,
exactly. Man. And these guys were just like, oh, it looks cool. Let me get out freaking Aquaman takes out a freaking can of Flex Seal or black spray paint or whatever the hell it is, and starts spray painting a brand new Harley-Davidson.
Correct.
What? Hey, I got money. Hell, I'll do it. Who cares? This is more like me, anyways. This suits my personality.
Oh yeah, he rides a whole one time a year, if that. You know what I mean? It's not their core audience. And I don't care if some of the stars. I think there's some comments, and that's cool that some of them may actually ride. They don't really ride. They may go to the store. They aren't riding like us. They aren't riding for 7 days, 3,000 miles. They aren't experiencing the lifestyle. None of these stars live the motorcycle lifestyle. It's a luxury item for them.
Well, maybe they do ride, but do we honestly care if they got one?
No. Either way,
do we
you're
care?
right. We don't care because they're nobody's to us. Yeah, we don't know whether we don't have a connection with them, so we don't know their opinion. You know what I mean? We haven't connected with them like you connect with people in a podcast, right?
Yeah.
You connect people on YouTube. You connect with people. We chat with people. That's a connection. You don't do that with some random star that you've seen on a TV show once. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's the old way to sell stuff. Like, that's not how you sell stuff anymore, Harley. Like, just look at Apple, look at DJI, look at some of your big companies. There is a reason they aren't trying to do what you're doing. And, you know, a lot of times they put on their commercials, you see them on TV, it's like not representative of the true rider. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that? It's like and that's great. I'm not saying you have to be a slob, but it's some preppy guy who just got off work, who's in a Harley coat, a Harley hat, a Harley chaps, Harley boots, Harley underwear, Harley bra, Harley helmet. That's not representative of your audience, you know?
It should be the dude in the helmet, sweatshirt, and hanging out.
I don't know. What do you guys? Did I rant too much about this, or does it piss me off as much as it pisses off other people? Just because I think Harley could really make some strides if they would get out to the influencers and the proper people and the actual people that like their product. I think they're missing the boat.
They're not using individuals that are credible, right, to sell or to market their product. This platform, you have individuals that to the masses are credible. They're down in the trenches, riding and wrenching.
Right.
That's who they should have talking to their product or talking about their product. People who are using it.
Right.
That speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could just shut up. They could shut up and not do any marketing because their damn bikes. Think about what their core marketing is. No marketing. They don't do shit. Their bikes sell themselves. You go to hog rallies and you go to Harley dealership events. No other automotive industry, bicycles, you name it, does the things that Harley dealerships do. You go to, would you go to Bratwurst and Cars at the Honda dealership? Or, you know,
right,
Dogs and Diesel at the Cummins dealership? You don't know. No one else does that. And Harley has these random screw ups. Like when they hit the newspaper, they denied the warranty of the guy that had the American flag, you know, because it wasn't. Oh, you fucking retards. Come on. I mean, think about that. Don't do dumb shit. Your bikes sell themselves. Put a little bit more. So what we're talking about is make the bikes appeal to common people, which they're already doing all across the country. Right?
Yeah.
So why screw that up? Make those events bigger and then go give away a motorcycle. Have Harley corporate show up with a huge trailer and free bikes 5 or 6 times a year at a Hogs and Dogs. And hey, here's our newest bike. We're going to give one away to someone today. Holy cow. You'd have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people at dealerships if 10 of them that day walked away with bikes. I mean, really, that's where their marketing is. And that is marketing that's lasted them 100 plus years. They've been doing that stuff forever.
Yep, they have.
And you would have someone who won that bike, who appreciates it, will love it forever, and will probably buy another Harley or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5
yeah, and
once they get that bug.
Get on their Facebook page and put, hey, Harley, I want a free Harley, and they taught me how to ride it. And then 50 people would see that and go, Harley, really? Oh, wow. And 5 of those people might go down to the dealership. I mean, it's a no freaking brainer.
Right.
The infrastructure for Harley's already there. They don't need to do stupid fancy marketing crap.
No, they don't need to do fancy marketing, but they definitely need to market. They do. You have to market.
You have to. Yeah.
You have to. The different thing is, and the chat's going great. See you guys having a conversation in there, you know, and not to key on this anymore and whatever, they can give their bikes to whoever they want. We're going to keep doing what we doing, but imagine the cred that Harley would get if they gave a bike to this community.
Because
you know I wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
that's the way I am. I would give it. I would raffle it to somebody in the law-abiding biker community.
Yeah,
you know the amount of traction they would get for that. You know what I mean? It's just a different day of marketing. It's different, and regardless, I don't care. I'm just using us as an example. Don't use us. I don't care. You know what? It's not going to make or break me. I'm just saying, if you want traction, go to the communities, and there's more than just this one. Go to the communities where your core audience is. Even if it's a star and he's into motorcycles, I just don't think it still has the cred that
it's
a regular guy,
right,
making $60,000 a year,
correct,
right,
you know, that just out working would enjoy it,
correct. Yeah, I just think they can do a better job, and I hope they get some marketers in there that really get that they need to move past 10 years ago, and this is the new thing. Get on podcasts, get on YouTube with regular people. You can just get down and dirty with your audience, man. Know the people that you're selling to. Don't have that detach. I think it's creating a detach from their core audience. And I think it did piss a lot of people off, clearly by this conversation, clearly by the chat.
Do you want to hug right now?
It pissed, you know what I mean? Yeah, I do. I'm
like moob to moob.
you know, but it's great. It's good chat. And I
Yeah,
just
really
think they did a disservice to themselves. I really do. And hopefully,
Well, they did a couple things right. Hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, I love playing devil's advocate, whether I agree or disagree with
right.
anything.
That's what we do here. That's what we do here. Yeah.
So, well, here's the thing: is the Facebook Live was a fantastic idea. Giving away a bike was a fantastic idea. Having it in the crates and being able to do this big whole unveil was a fantastic idea. And the fact that it was going to be a different model almost each time was a fantastic idea. However, who they chose to give it to sucked, and the reactions suck. That's what people are pissed off about. Is the They're like, of course you give it to a multimillionaire. They're gonna go, oh, cool. I mean, just put this in the back with the rest of the 50.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where they went wrong. Was not touching their base, their core market. So there was some things they did right. I thought. I mean, as far as doing it on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, all that stuff was great. I mean,
no, you're right. They are clearly
great.
realize those platforms are powerful. Yeah. You're right. They just didn't use the right people.
Right.
And right. I see some dissension in the private Facebook group, and that's cool. Apparently, 3 of the people that were mentioned are daily writers, and I can't look at all the comments, but you know, I honestly didn't know a single one of them. So you know, but whatever, you know, yeah, they clearly know those platforms are powerful. They're just not using them technically in the right way.
It would go over. I mean, I would sooner buy a certain model if, say, like you did a review on it, or you got one, or another patron won a bike, or another platform. That would actually be more appealing.
Right.
Because it makes sense. It's relevant. It's relevant in marketing. It's relevant content. You can't just put a flyer out there or do something and say, it'll be relevant because it's Harley-Davidson. No, it's got to be relevant to your audience, and that wasn't very relevant.
Yep, I agree. And I think they learned from it. I honestly think they do realize they got enough feedback and enough outlash, and here's more lash.
Did you leave them a bunch of voicemails?
If they listen at all, if they listen at all to their actual community, they're going to realize, we should not do it that way again. That was an epic fail. That was.
Fire that marketing guy.
That was a failure of epic proportions. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable, dude. Yeah. All right. Let's anything else to say? We're going to wrap it up, and thank you to all the patron members, the patron only live event, and then everybody eventually will hear it via podcast. But I think we have definitely went over it. Let's just do a round table. I don't have a lot of last. I think I kind of said it. Let's do a round table. Oscar, anything to wrap up?
My balls are sweaty.
All right, that you hear it straight from Oscar. His balls are sweaty
or damp.
There you go.
That's all I got.
Squid.
No, there's a good time in the chat group. Awesome people.
Yeah.
Awesome people.
Hey,
thank you for the input.
Yep, it is. It's a great conversation. We try to monitor that as much as possible, and I know I missed a lot of stuff, but I just try to scroll through it on the other 20 tasks I have to do here with the live stream and notes and keeping the show flowing and all that, and Skype here. And so thank you. I agree. And thank you, Squid, for being on here for your first time, and you did well, and you learned. I only had to scold you 5 times on the mic, and now you got it. You got
working on it.
You got your radio voice, bro. And Matt Pass, what do you have to say? Anything to wrap it up?
No, I think we covered a lot of great stuff. We talked about the millennials, the different demographics of people that are coming up, what they expect. Talked about Harley losing touch with their client base, and is that whether a good thing or a bad thing? Well, obviously, with the charts that we saw, losing whatever it was in the past seems to be a good thing, because you're obviously having better market share, which is great. So it completely rebutted that guy's entire video, which kind of set up the conversation in the first place. We kind of covered cost and competitive products, and what Harley's doing to appeal to those, whether it's smaller bikes or more technology. So I don't think there was one touch point that we didn't pick up, chew up, spit out, digest, do it all again, all over again. And I had a great time doing it. So thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we've beat a horse straight up, dude, but it's been good. And I thank everybody for being here. You guys stuck with us. It's been a long night because we batch processed. We did one public live and one patron only. Definitely another reason to become a patron now, because we're going to do more of this.
Yeah, this is cool.
They'll see it months. Our patrons will see this months before it ever comes out on podcast format, because we're that far ahead. try to keep content in the hopper. Lurch, my producer, we try to keep well ahead because we got so much else going on. I can't. I got to edit videos and do all that kind of stuff. So I will tell you guys one thing that I think Harley should do this. They should make it standard on every new 2018 and newer stock biker gripper, guys, right there on the bars, guys. They could buy it right here at Law Abiding Biker Media. It's the sexest, sleekest, strongest cell phone and GPS mount on the market. That's right, cell phone motorcycle mount. Use it to mount your cell phone, GPS device, radar detectors, EFI tuners, toll transponders, so much more. Tried and tested right here. Law Abiding Biker Crew, still one of our staple, best-selling products of all time. That's right. Believe in it so much, we stamped our own logo on it. We use it for our police motors unit. It's part of our fleet. Oscar uses it. You guys, we got to manipulate it a little bit to get it on there. They're getting new bikes.
It'll be on the new bike.
It'll be on the new bikes. That's right. Available exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. That's right. Get hooked up, guys. We have a ton of them in stock always, and it's definitely stand the test of time. We've tested it in every way, guys. All right, so here we go. Where am I looking for, Oscar? What am I looking for?
Oh, it's kind of I'm getting dizzy. I'm gonna vomit. Sorry.
Oh, here. That's what I'm looking for, guys. That's what I'm looking for. All right, guys. We're gonna wind it down, and thanks for like I said, thanks for being in. If you want to leave us an internet voicemail, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. You can leave it from your microphone, from any computer, from anywhere in the world for free. We love to hear your voicemail. We played the one on the last episode, a funny one, or was this episode?
Yeah,
we played the voicemail. We started out with
the last one.
No, we started out with
this one
because Matt Pass was on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You were here.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was snoozing, dude.
I might have been. Because mine's sweating.
At any rate, I hope it was informational. I hope it was entertaining.
Or
I hope it was
infotational.
Infotaining.
Oh,
God.
Infotaining.
I thought, but infotational is a cool word.
God.
Or was it infotainment?
It's infotaining.
I think it's infotaining.
I hope it was informational. I hope it was entertaining.
Infotainment. I hope your evening had infotainment in it.